9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight, in the vast and intricate world of fly fishing, we encounter two remarkable specimens, each uniquely crafted to deceive even the most cunning of trout. First, the Half Pint Midge, a minuscule masterpiece mimicking the delicate and ever-present midge pupae. Despite its humble size, it is a force to be reckoned with, a staple of the trout's diet in waters across the world. And then we meet its bold counterpart, the Half Pint Streamer, a hearty, irresistible meal for the apex predators of the river, designed to provoke aggressive strikes from the most territorial of fish. Two patterns, two tactics, one mission. Let Dana and Tim unlock the mysteries beneath the water's surface. Welcome to Thursday Night Live Fly Tying.
Hey, gringos!
Hola.
Ain't no microphone for you. Welcome back to Thursday Night Live,
Welcome
Season
back, guys.
7, Episode 7. And you know what happens on 77? Well, we're about to find out. First and foremost, all of your favorite people there are about to get down on a little bit of fly toga.
Oh, look at us all
This
up there.
is Taco Thursday, the most famous week night of the week.
It is. It's Tuesday, right?
It's new. It's exciting. It's Taco Thursday.
Taco.
This theme originated back down in the Hueso La Pruebo. No?
No, I
None
don't
of the
think so.
above. All right. Well, because we don't ever reveal the couch person until the right time, until the time is right, you guys need to understand that there's a race going on, and they are Jones, and they are sitting here chomping at the bit, ready to get racing. I know last time people were complaining about there was a bit of a glitch, and they thought that I had fixed it. Like, not fixed it, like corrected it, but fixed it so that I would win. But I have
You
yet to
never
win
won.
one race.
You
I
never
know.
won.
That's the kind of
Oh,
emails
man.
that I get. So yeah, we got the couch, we got Tim, Dana, Stag Bakery, Wolf Creek Anglers, Fishpond, and Hyde Drift Boats. So
Nice. That's a crew.
make sure you guys write down in there who you think is going to win the race. We do this every episode. We got 4 races, 25-second races. So in total, it's a minute of racing. And what you're meant to do is warm up your fingers by typing in who you think is going to win. And I don't think anyone's gone 4 for 4.
I've gone 3 for 4, but not 4 for 4.
You want to explain?
Por favor.
Por favor. Oh, tonight you will go por favor. So it's actually quite a simple task. We just press start and they race and we go and we wonder, the couch is going to get sacked, folks. The good news is that although last week got a little nutty, we're back. We're back.
Got a little
and
double bubbly.
a little double bubble gum. A prerequisite for the couch is that you
Have shorts long enough.
have shorts long
To
enough
hide.
to cover your schlong enough. So,
Oh, gosh.
all right, well, everyone's getting in there. 1 minute of racing, 20 minutes of talking, face green, smiling. Exactly.
right, Josh.
I think it's an emoji, but it didn't come through properly.
I don't think so.
Enough talking to keep you going, excited. Here we go. First race is about to
Who you
happen.
going- who you going with? You
Oh,
haven't
yeah, I
called.
gotta go. I'm going Dana.
I'm going
obviously.
Tim,
You
obviously.
gotta.
If you guys
got-
aren't choosing Tim,
That's
you're
right. Here, no one did. Nobody chose
Yes,
Tim.
someone
or-
did. I saw it.
No,
I saw
I
it.
don't. Dana will win.
No.
He is always the dark horse here at
Keep
Fiesta
the
Night.
furry hermit in its cave.
Who's this? Dave?
No, it's Roger Beatty.
Oh, keep the furry. Well, it will make an appearance. All right, the race is on. Here
Let's
we go.
go, Tim. Oh, look at that big dinosaur.
Couch.
He's coming
The
from
couch
behind. He's coming
doesn't
from behind.
even-
You wait.
That's exactly where Tim comes from.
Let's go. Every time.
Oh, look at this. Could Dana win
come
4
on.
for 4?
No.
The
No.
Hyde Drift Boats.
Hyde Drift
Guys,
Boats.
there is
It's
nothing
happening.
better
Come on.
than a big, fat, juicy Hyde Drift Boats. Come on. Oh,
Oh,
look.
couch. It's too late. It's too
I
late.
think it's too late.
Oh.
2 seconds. 1 second.
Oh, I was consistently
Hyde
in the middle of the pack.
Drift Boats is the winner. What do? Remove the winner from the race? Not this time, folks. Not this time, because
What?
these people are far too important to remove from the race.
Oh, man. Okay.
And if you went with Hyde Drift Boats, it was a good choice, so you might as well go with them again. But we got Hyde Drift Boats, we got Fishpond, we got Wolf Creek Anglers, our friends down on the Missouri River. A good place to stay and play for all your fly fishing needs on the Missouri. I just made this up. All your fly fishing needs on the Missouri River. Check out Wolf Creek Anglers in Wolf Creek, Montana.
But wait,
What?
there's more.
There is more.
I'm just segueing your infomercial, so go ahead.
There is more. And for all of your needs
29 easy
to
payments
get
of...
down the Wolf Creek, Missouri River, you're going to need a Hyde Drift Boat.
Yes. You
And
will.
because we know that our good friend Garnet drowned almost, he wishes he had a Fishpond USA
Yep.
waterproof backpack.
Yep.
And
true.
why? Because what could he have kept dry in his Fishpond waterproof backpack?
Everything.
This Black Stag Bakery bacon
Oh,
that
man.
he's picking up tomorrow at the Valentine's Market. Damn.
I didn't see where you were
Well,
going with
Tim
that.
will be reserved to the couch while Dana takes over. All right, get
Come
your
on,
votes
Tim, let's
in.
go.
Here we go, folks. The Drift Boat sticking with the Black Stag. That was pretty good, actually. I strung that together and no help to you. All right.
Let's go.
If you guys wore a costume for tonight, because it is that theme night, send us in the costume, TNL at flyfishingbower.com.
Let
And
us
we'll
see it.
pick a winner. Maybe not. All right, it's off to the races. Here we go. I
Ooh,
picked
easy
it. Oh,
lead.
Dana.
Easy lead.
Look at Dana.
Easy lead.
Always
Oh, the
takes off
couch.
first. But the Black Stag Bakery comes in. Oh, the couch. Oh, I think it's
Tim.
BSB.
Come on, Tim. He's going for it. He's going for it. Come on, baby.
No.
Let's go. No.
Nothing beats the BSB, the Black Stag Bakery. Chomp, chomp.
You gotta remove them. That's the
No,
only
I
way
can't
I win.
remove them.
You have to.
I can't. These are the people that make the show go round
know,
and
but
round and round.
They're making me lose.
Yeah, well, guess what? Have a drink.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
That's Fly Fishing Borders Live is now live. Taco Thursday. That's what
You're
I
watching.
got alerted.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you're not tuned in, tune in because we're live now.
We are.
We got 2 more races. Let's go with the Drifter this time. If you haven't won, you might as well pick the same one because I don't think we've ever seen something win twice. No, the Leech, I think
The
won.
Leech did
I
once,
think
twice. Did once, twice.
You know what didn't win twice?
Dana.
That's me. Not at all. I wanted to see if the actual figurine named Dana would win because this guy doesn't win.
It's got such little arms.
You guys like my outfit? I actually might guide in this shirt this summer.
Yeah. And that wig.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
You know who you remind me of?
No.
LMFAO. Straight up. I'm pulling up a picture.
Yeah, you blow up a picture. All right, get your votes in. This is race number 3, and we're off to the races. Here we go, folks. The monster race. Tim, look at you.
Let's go, Tim.
Tim.
Let's go.
Tim Former.
Let's go, baby.
Former. My name is Tim Former.
Couch is gonna do it. Watch
Guys,
from behind.
I have a bounce sheet here because this shirt has a lot of static. And there it goes.
Yeah, come on, baby. Let's go.
No.
Yeah.
way.
Every day.
Oh my goodness.
That's what it's about, right
There's
there.
nothing. Okay.
Look at that move.
Okay, guys. What we're gonna do is remove the winner for the next race.
Oh, you can't do that. Come on. It's the people who make the show go round. Put me back in. Come on, coach. Put me in.
It's one of the only people who make the show go round. If you weren't here, we'd just be doing races all night.
Look at it. Come on, that's
Let's
you.
see. Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I wish we could play some of that, but we can't.
Get banned.
All right, last race of the day. Fly toga. Tim's gone.
I don't know who to
Tim
go
wins.
with.
Tim's. You might as well pick Dana.
No,
the guy's the loser.
You're not gonna
okay?
win. I'm gonna go Fishpond. He's gonna win this time.
And so it's not the Michelin Man. It's actually the Ghostbuster monster. I'm gonna switch
With
it
a
up.
bib on?
I'm gonna go with the couch. Hey,
Couch?
look, I got
Okay, if you-
friends here.
You're going couch. I'm going Dana then.
Well, see, Tyler wanted to pick the couch because he threw in his last minute couch application.
Too late today.
Guys, the couch books up quick.
It does.
Like,
Can't wait around.
you never know. I'm gonna vote the couch. Barry's gonna go with Hyde Drift Boats because Barry knows that's the best damn drift boat on the planet.
It's true. All right, I'm going Dana then.
Speaking of
Wait on you.
next week, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the Boat and Sportsman Show in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And come on down, check it out. Come say hi. Hyde Drift Boats. That's where we'll be.
Nice.
That's where we'll be. All right, final race of the day. Everybody's got your votes in. And I went with Couch.
Come on, Dana.
I would have picked Tim, but he's not here.
Come on,
Here we
Dana.
go.
Come on, Dana. Let's go. From behind. Just do it for me,
Yeah,
please.
look at-
I want it so bad.
Don't say that.
Come
out loud.
on, Dana.
Do not say my name and then
Come
say
on.
from behind.
Fishpond.
Look at this. There it is. I
You didn't
can't
call it,
even
though.
win when you pick it.
I know.
It doesn't matter what I pick.
That's crazy.
Everybody,
I love the Star Wars robot just falls on the ground at the end.
absolutely never. Is this
Not once.
Is this our 5th time playing this?
At least, yeah.
No, absolutely hate this game. I might change it up next week and not play.
You just need the same name on all of them and then just
That's
call
a
it.
good point. That's a good point. Well, if you picked Fishpond, you might have won, but let's just check out our awesome sponsors. We're going to come right back. We're going to have a little roll call. Welcome you guys.
Heck yeah.
Episode 7.
Let's go.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share 'em with, and it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.
Roll call.
Roll
time.
call. It's time to get you and us acquainted. Let us know where you're from, what you're drinking, and did you go Ofer or por favor?
Or for por
Por
favor.
favor. This is
We know 3 Spanish
this is
words.
the Mexican. This is the Mexican Thursday Night Live Spanish taco burrito. What's in that Speedo? Well, Ken
Maybe a little
showed us
burrito.
the bubble gum. All right, so yeah, let us know. Your comments are just rolling through the screen right there. So let us know where you're from, what you're drinking. I'm Dana. I'm from Calgary
No.
area. Olds, Alberta, Canada, where the studio is. And we're going to tie a couple flies tonight. Who are you?
I'm Tim, and I'm from the Great White North.
That's right. He is from absolutely Algonquin in Northwest Territories.
I think that's where it is.
You don't think where it is? Anyways, it's where it is. It's a new village.
New village.
And it's really far north. So we're going to be tying the half pints today, the Half Pint Midge and the Half Pint Streamer. Probably going to be hating both of those because they're going to go from really small to a fair-sized streamer.
Yep.
And the first one we're going to be tying is a Half Pint Midge. So probably you're going to put on some UTC 70 because we don't use anything else.
Seems to be this year. It is. And yeah, you're going to definitely want something small. It's a size 18, super small bug. And the whole body is just built from the thread. So you want to have black would be absolutely the best. And then for our Half Pint Streamer, we're going to be using something a little heavier, something in the 140 class. Color's not important. It's not going to show anyways, but it's just something a little heavier for that streamer. That'll be good for you.
Yeah.
Get them started up.
Josh and Timmy in the headwaters of the Bow up in the Banff area.
Yes.
Roger Beatty's keeping it dry tonight in North Carolina.
Not Mike Risco drinking Espolon tequila.
Wow. Where
fit
did
the
our
night.
tequila go? Guys,
It's pretty empty.
we had, you don't even know about what we had to do to dress up the studio. Amazon didn't show up in time. And I really like my shirt.
Yeah, it's a good one. I would wear it. Probably fits me.
You could stick your whole boat in it. Remember that time you won the race and then you got deleted?
Oh, no.
Jill Dooley is in Missouri drinking Maker's Mark and a Coke.
Nice.
An actual Coke, a name brand Coke, or
A Pepsi.
gosh, I wish I had hair again. It's so fun just to wiggle it around. And Cam is drinking his kitchen as always. In his kitchen.
In his
as
kitchen.
Always.
In his
Always.
kitchen.
There's always a word I forget. There.
One or two.
Southern New Hampshire, Mr. Croto, only water tonight. Heart issues. Well, Ron, that's a wise man did that choice tonight. And Struthers is drinking an 1882 Golden Ale from the Hubtown in Cowtown.
Nice.
We've got some beers tonight. We've got 3 beers, and I don't think Tim's going to love them. With an alcohol percentage of 10 and an IBU of like 62, I think that one's going to hit harder than his loss of his monster named Tim.
Oh, man.
Going
it's
into the
it's going to be a
fourth
heavy
race.
beer. That's interesting. I don't know. Let's see.
Brendan here. We got Mr. Sather from Sylvan Lake.
What's
a
up,
long
Terry?
way from, well, 'cause
Yeah, he's
he
not there. I was
packed
going
up
to
and
say,
left.
he's gone. I was going to say, it
Trevor-
must be a Corona.
Trevor's, yeah. So he took it literally.
Yeah.
He took Mexican night
He went
literally.
all the way there for us.
And we were joking. We didn't mean you had to go. It didn't mean you need to go there. It means we're there.
Awesome.
In spirit and all the fun things that we have to do. But speaking of, we got Mike here. Good night, folks. Is that like the entrance good night or is that the au revoir good night? Either way, we're glad you're here. Fly Trout is drinking Sprite, eating quesadillas,
Nice.
and storing his bubblegum on his inner thigh.
It's there.
That's
Bubblegum trout.
It was right there. I'll never forget. It took me a few days to go back and rewatch If you haven't watched last week's episode,
Don't.
yes, dude, you're missing out because I just don't want to even tell you anymore.
Oh, man.
Mr. Jones is drinking the old AGD, the Alberta Genuine Draft.
Nice.
Cam's talking to you about New Zealand. Fly Trout's wearing long pants at home.
Long
Smart.
pants today.
Smart man.
Those work.
Smart
I mean,
man.
when your pockets are longer than your shorts, it's probably too short. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
not bubblegum. It's already been chewed bubblegum. But speaking of people down in Mexico, I heard from my good buddy Baldi Bob.
Did you?
Yeah.
He did make a
and
trip?
He did a trip down to the Mexicos. And
I think there's only one.
I think we'll just let him tell his story
All right.
about his trip down to Mexico. And maybe Mr. Souther can take some sage advice from Baldi Bob and not make the same mistake twice. Let's head over and hear from Baldi Bob, and we'll be right back.
Well, folks, gather round and stay put, 'cause Old Baldi Bob's got another story for you. And let me tell you, this one is a doozy. Now, you know me, and I ain't one to back down from a challenge. And that's exactly how I found myself in a little cantina down in Mexico, going shop for shop with an old fisherman who swore that he had the secret to catching the biggest trout alive. Now you might ask, why is there trout down in Mexico? Well, that's another story. But there was a catch to this. Whoever ate the worm at the bottom of the tequila bottle won. Now I ain't afraid of a little worm, so when the time came, I threw that bad boy back. But something felt quite off. My throat was scratchy, my eyes started watering, and I realized it wasn't a worm at all. No, it wasn't. It was a San Juan worm fly. My best one. The best one I tied from back in episode 1. And I tied it myself. Do you have any idea how much that hurt? Barb hooked it. Oh, didn't even pinch the barbs. I was coughing. Barb was coughing. I was coughing up blood for a week. You know what's even worse? If I'd have had my season 7 kit, I would have had plenty more of them San Juan worms tied and ready to go. No, Baldi Bob had to learn the hard way again. Don't be like me, folks. Get yourself a season 7 kit so you don't end up swallowing your best fly just to prove a point. In a tequila-filled bat down in Mexico, fishing trout. That's another story. We'll get to it. Oh, and anyways, while we're talking about great decisions, make sure you all get your Fishpond Flyingo card. It's free, it's fun, and it's your only shot at winning some crazy prizes. Don't miss out like I did with my worm. Get your Flyingo card now. www.fishingboatriver.com/TNL7 now before it's too late. Anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Whoa!
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Buenos dias, muchachos.
Muchacha. Bienvenida.
Yeah.
That's a gringo right there.
Brother.
What's going on, boys?
What's going on, brother? What's going on?
This is just that. Hopefully, we have a better day than Bob there, and there's no blood on the floor here.
I hope not.
We're gonna really try hard not to swallow our San Juan worm.
No. Our Barb's
That guy's
San
a
Juan worm.
crazy. He's
He
a crazy bugger. But the good thing is he's always promoting kits and Flyingo cards. And
Well, he learns the hard way. He never has them. So.
He's actually not learning. He's learned. He just seems to keep making mistakes.
Yeah.
And he has to learn.
Bob's one of a kind.
But we wouldn't have his stories if he didn't make mistakes. So.
I know. And that's why we all need a Baldi Bob in our lives. And you might have noticed there were some cameos in that. If you notice the cameos, there was 2 of them. 2 characters from TNL made cameos in the show.
6.
Well, we made sure the shorts were at least a half a meter stick long tonight. To tell you that.
Appropriate levels. Why don't you tell everyone, Coach Guy?
Kenny, you're not going to live this one down. This is going right to the end.
Hey, Coach Guy.
The Couch Guy, yeah.
Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what the mother effer you're going to be doing the next 2 weeks.
I am AA Ron, sitting on the couch here, sipping on a retrospectrum. That works too, right?
A retro rectum.
A retro rectum.
Rectum damn near killed him, Johnny.
I did.
And
That couch does weird things to you guys.
it does. When you've been in the studio for 4 hours pre-showing. That's the way it goes down sometimes. But
Just please wear that on the river.
I'll go down the river in this.
Man.
But everyone
You're not
else has to
gonna
go down
someday.
in the river in theirs.
All 3 of us will be in the same boat.
I'm just referring to your hat. I mean, you could wear it and we'd all be safe.
Well,
no sunburns.
best sun protection in town, I tell you.
David
good.
David Spencer's in the house, folks.
What's up, Dave?
David Spencer.
We got all the peeps in the house.
Mr. McKenna knows about the big trout in Guadalupe River, just north of Old Mexico. Not where
Nice.
Bob was.
Not where Bob
Not
was.
where Bob. Close, but the San Juan worm was designed. Do you know what the San Juan shuffle is?
No, I don't.
In the San Juan
it's the
River.
rivers, right? Or the boats.
And they just stand there and they shuffle, they kick their legs, and all the worms come up and the fish come and eat them all around their feet. Absolutely bizarre. And the boat traffic and the foot traffic, close to Mexico, but it's not quite
there.
Mexico. It's not quite the cantina that Bob found himself in this week. He's always up for an adventure.
He is. He's well traveled.
Yeah, he gets around. Bob gets around, and we're grateful that he is always coming and giving us a good story about the show. But asked you another question there, Aaron. What will you be doing the next couple weeks?
Well, I hope everyone's going to tune in. We're going to lose our illustrious Tyre here.
Yeah.
On a fabulous trip that he gets to
Fentina.
Gets to go relive, same as last year. And I'm going to be tying along with you guys for the next couple weeks coming up here.
He's the new tie guy.
I'll be in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yep.
For a couple
bumbling around.
Bullpen.
What is that? 8 and
9.
8 and 9.
Yeah.
I know. I was looking in the kit, and when I opened it up, the packs are dwindling, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
getting close to the end already.
It is.
It's weird how fast it goes sometimes, but she's ripping.
Yeah.
Whoa,
but stoked to be in the hot seat next couple weeks.
Speaking of hot seats.
Yeah.
Oh. Black Stag Bakery.
Gosh darn it. It's the wrong
wrong
maybe
one.
it's not the wrong one. I don't know. I'm doing my best to make Maggie proud because the videos take a lot of work to get in here. And anyways, Black Stag Bakery, Maggie Murphy. What do we got? Maggie baking up for us tonight.
Oh, look at this.
That's interesting.
Very,
dough.
Gummy looking.
I sometimes get the order as to which the process was, but nonetheless, wherever the final is,
it's over there in the boat.
Pure
over there in the
surprise! You
boat.
guys didn't share this tonight.
Yeah, yeah. You get to try it out.
You kept the secret.
But the most important part is if you did get your pre-orders in, you're gonna be able to pick them up tomorrow at the market. The Valentine's Day market. Oh, we got some more. We got the dollops that'll do ya. And I would love to tell you what it's called, but we're just. Oh, hey Maggie, you guys say
What's
hi.
up, Maggie?
Hey, Mags.
She typically ignores us on this camera. I think she might have headphones in while she's baking right now. But
setting the vibes.
Maggie, we're super excited. We can't wait for you to finish doing that. And Tim said they're behind us. He lied. He meant something else.
Oh, I said they're in the boat on the way here.
Oh, yeah. In the boat. We're in Mexico. So things travel to us by the boat. But this treat looks like it's
shaping up.
Yeah. Literally shaping round.
Shaping
I
around.
know what else is round. I'm not going to talk about on the same camera as the baking cam. And it wasn't really round.
Sort of.
It was squishy, probably look like the same texture.
Less
we're
hair.
ruining the baking. All right, we're gonna come. We're gonna come. We're gonna come back to
There's
this.
less hair
It's
in
got
those.
to die out here one of these days.
It won't.
No, I know.
Never
That's the
die
thing.
out. 4.
It's Beer 40! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
All right, Tim chose the easy one tonight. What do we do on Beer 30? Well, we do tie flies, but we don't typically get to them in the first 39 hours.
True story. There's just lots to get through sometimes. We got
Lots
to
to
get
get
through.
through. It's all about having fun, guys. It's just like a good day on the river. Sometimes it takes the in-between to make you truly enjoy a day
I agree.
of fishing. And that's kind of what we're prepping you guys for is the first one, the beer that Tim chose because it might be it might get up there.
You think it will?
Tim,
There's some good ones up there to knock off.
Yes, it's going to be close, but the beer that you memorized all the answers to is, I got to finish this one first.
I'll let you know all about it. So this is from Dandy Brewing Company out of Calgary, Alberta. It is a 8 or 6% beer with an IBU of 10, and I like that number nice and low. It normally means I'm going to like it. It's a tropical desert in a can. Dandy Brewing Co. delivers a sweet yet tart experience.
So back it up.
Back
dessert. That says dessert. Right. But either way, there is tropical deserts and there's tropical desserts.
Sorry, I was just backing it up.
Oh, back it up.
Yeah, a tropical desert in a can. It's funnier when I say it that way.
Have you ever seen that YouTube video where people get the tattoos and stuff spelt wrong and the guy wanted something desert on there and just dessert on their arms?
Nah, regrets. Not even one letter. Okay, anyways, it is tart experience with a burst of pineapple, vanilla, and caramelized malt flavors. Oh, you made me lose my spot. Mimicking the nostalgic taste of an upside-down pineapple cake. Expect a smooth and creamy mouthfeel.
There it is. There's the word, folks. The craft beer word of the year is mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel. Pairs well with tacos.
El pastor. Grilled fish.
Grilled fish.
And a hot day on the summer by the river. Me and my gringos.
That was half of one nationality's accent and then finished strong, but...
We don't know where tacos El Paso.
Oh, I don't know.
The grilled fish with a mouthfeel. I can't wait to feel the mouthfeel.
I hope it tastes better than it smells. I'll just put that.
All right, well,
it's different.
All right. Oh, different. Okay, I'm up.
Maybe we should have did the dreaded one first.
Well, they advise you. I think we did. They advise you to start with salt. Just take a moment and enjoy my great DJing.
He's only got one genre to pick from.
I couldn't lose tonight.
Maybe if we go grab the leftover chorizo that we fried up upstairs, it might actually accentuate this.
I just don't.
I'm just giving it a sec. I'm not being very critical.
Ugh.
Guys, why is my camera not focusing on me?
Because it's focusing on that beer.
Do the snap.
There it is. There you go.
I got too much going on here. It was like, hey, I'm blurry.
I just...
It gets a little better.
The smell is very not good.
The burp is very not good.
Oh, it is a sour, that's why.
Yeah, but the one we had last week was unreal.
The sour?
Yeah, it was like a dino sour in a can. This is an easy one for me. Easy one. Settle down, LMFAO. Scooter said the same thing. He's like, you're giving off vibes. Kevin McAllister mom vibes tonight. What's this, Scooter? What is this?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, this is from Home Alone, right?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I will pull it up. Don't you guys worry.
I'm not to shave my head.
Sadly, I have to break this.
Kevin.
Man, that's two women like freaking Jace.
Wasn't it Jodie Foster or something?
It was
you need to just throw up a 1 up there for me.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, it's sorry, Dandy. I'm right behind with my brother Tim there.
Yeah.
I think it's a 1.
All right.
That is
My essay.
0 recommendation. My gringo. Uno más cerveza, por favor.
No cerveza, por favor.
Different cerveza, por favor. It's bad, eh?
Yeah, that's not good, guys.
I don't know how you gave it a 2. It's like, I give Whitefish more respect.
I just sometimes feel guilty.
I think I'm unplugging the headphones here, and I'll take the glasses for a washout, boys.
Okay.
Yuck.
And then we're gonna go deep and dark. We're gonna punish you today, Tim.
I will do the dark just to get out of that flavor palette confusion. Ugh.
I'm worried that next one that we got tonight is gonna put Tim into sleepy land.
Nah.
Okay, well, let's tie this fly and we'll come back because that midge doesn't take too long.
Well, you better get buggy so I can do it.
I'll get buggy and we will tie this fly, folks.
Let's do
That's
it.
beer 30. That is pineapple upside down sour from Dandy. It wasn't the greatest yet.
Boo.
All right, it's time to get buggy with Dana. Me, loser, can't win a race. All right, sketchy. It's Taco Thursday, the best night of the week. But before we dive into the tacos that I've made for you tonight, we got to get buggy. And tonight, we're talking about the Half Pint Midge.
Wait a second, Dana, a half pint? Is that some sort of baby beer for trout?
Not quite sketchy. The Half Pint Midge is actually an improved zebra midge, a tiny fly that trout go crazy for, especially when, well, there's not much else on the menu.
Ah, I see. So it's like ordering a small taco when you're really just pretending you're on a diet.
Exactly. Midges are the trout's version of tacos, tiny, tasty, and always on the menu. And this pattern, it's the premium street taco of the midge world. Loads of flash, segmentation, and just the right amount of juicy realism.
Juicy realism? Yeah, kind of sounds a little disturbing, Dana, but, you go on.
So the Half Pint Midge takes the classic zebra midge and it ups the game. We're adding some crystal flash and some silver wire for segmentation and a touch of dubbing to build up the thorax. You know, giving it just a little more of that realistic look.
Sounds fancy, but let me guess. Trout don't care how fancy it is. They just eat it.
Exactly. In this situation, they're not totally critics, Sketch. If it looks like food, they eat first and then maybe ask questions later. The Half Pint Midge is perfect in cold water, clear water, and on those picky trout. It's kind of a confidence pattern when nothing else is working.
So basically, it's like ordering a quesadilla when you don't know what you're in the mood for. It's a safe bet, and it's always delicious.
Spot on. And just like how you've always needed a backup taco, well, you should always have a few of these Half Pint Midges in your fly box, Sketch. They're small, but mighty. Just like the taco I got waiting for you.
Wait, so if you're saying that trout eat midges all day long, does that mean they basically live in an all-you-can-eat buffet?
Pretty much. But unlike you, Sketch, they don't need a nap after.
All right, that's it. I'm officially jealous of the trout.
All right, it's the Half Pint Midge. The illustrious midge fishing, the kind of fishing that drives people nuts. The food source that is always in the river, but almost never gets eaten. Does that sound bizarre? Well, that's what we're going to explore here on Getting Buggy with Dana. And we've already tied a bunch of midge patterns on Thursday Night Live. This one, very much like the zebra midge, just has a little bit of a change, which is kind of fly tying in a nutshell, is the idea that you just change a couple things and then you can throw your own name on it. So we're just going to kind of run through a little bit of history. We're going to run through a little bit of how to fish it and some entomology, and feel free to ask questions. Tim will look for that in the comments as I go through my slideshow with you. So the Half Pint Midge was developed by Jake Chutz, a well-known tyer from Montana, and the goal was to, well, create an ultra-effective, no-nonsense midge pattern that imitates both mergers and pupa. Now, what are our mergers and pupa? Well, if you hang tight, we're going to get to that point of this getting buggy, and that's called the entomology. But the Half Pint Midge is slim. Like Tim said, it's just a thread body. It's minimalistic, and, well, it's deadly. Okay? This is this thread, the sparse dubbing, and the glass bead, or you can use a heavier bead, depending kind of more so what or how you're wanting to fish this for. You want it to get down, pupa, might want a little heavier bead. You want it to kind of sit in that under the water column, surface film. Then maybe you tie no bead, or you tie a glass bead, something a little lighter. But this fly is a perfect match the hatch solution for technical trout, especially when the fish are ignoring bigger patterns. And if you're midge fishing, it gets very finicky, technical, and extremely frustrating to fish midge patterns because you don't know if they're eating dries, emergers, pupa, or nothing at all. They're small, but they're one of the most abundant and important food sources for trout. So they're hatching all year long. You go down to the river in the winter, there's midges. There's midges all the time, whether you see them hatching or not. They seem to be all the time, like I've said a million times. But the idea behind them is probably most effective when there's not other bugs present. And that's kind of maybe when the fish start to key in on midges, or they start what we call midging. So let's break it down from bottom to top, from the moment a midge hatches to that moment that it becomes a dry fly or a non-biting mosquito. And they are a little different from the sizes of lake midges versus river midges. Where to find them? They found in silty, muddy, soft bottom river sections. They prefer slow moving currents, back eddies, and lake beds. The midge larva looks like tiny worms, bloodworms. So sometimes people fish little like red devil, like little fly patterns, or little red copper john. You can also find them under rocks, and yeah, they do look just like tiny little worms. So they're red due to their hemoglobin. They range from cream, black, olive brown, or red, and they do not swim well. They're not big enough to really make an impact on the swimming, but that wiggling, much smaller idea of a worm, and that's kind of when they get picked off by trout. What do we got next here? The midge pupa. So the larva, the pupa, this is the transition phase just before the emergence. Midges migrate to the surface, and the pupa get trapped in the surface film, becoming easy targets. This is the most vulnerable stage. The pupa are shedding their larval skin, and they cannot escape quickly. They have gas bubbles inside their bodies, giving them a shiny or translucent look. Glass bead, or this addition from the zebra midge to the half pint midge, is kind of what we're going for in this pattern. These gas bubbles inside their bodies, giving them a shiny or translucent look. Typically what they'll do is they'll kind of just like create a gas bubble, and that's typically their transport to the exterior of the river. Colors, as we discussed, and the ideas. Some really cool things here to maybe write down is the patterns, the fly choice, half pint midge, the zebra midge, or the blood midge. And more so understanding that this is in the pupa stage where they're kind of just stuck under the surface film. This transition phase is just before the emergence. I think we just read this one. Yeah, there we go. So the emerging midges. Okay, this is when we've talked about the film critic that we tied a few weeks ago. It's how they're stuck in that moment where they just quite aren't getting out of the water. So a lot of people see rising trout and they think to themselves, they're eating dry flies. And they cast their favorite dry fly at the fish, and the fish do nothing. So this is what you're not understanding, is that there's a rise form. There's a way to which the fish rise. Is it splashy? Are they dorsaling? Are they just subtly sucking flies under the water? All of those things help you dictate what is the pattern or the stage, like we're discussing here, of that pattern. So it's important that you don't just have a dry fly, that you understand this emerger phase, this pupa stage, understanding how to fish them with a dry dropper or a double dry, Where your second dry is kind of just below the surface. Those are really hard to fish because visually we can't see them. And we also don't really fully understand how to get that fly to hang in that level of water. So the challenge ensues to find your favorite pattern. A Griffiths gnat is a very popular midge pattern. So it's not a midge, it's a cluster of midges. So when you get down to like a size 20 or 22 Griffiths gnat, that's still a cluster of midges. So there could be 3 or 4 in a cluster. It's kind of cool if you ever get to watch midges on the water. They literally are just like clustered up, and any kind of like wind blows them around off the surface of the water. Other patterns you can read there. Talked about sipping, looking more flat water. So one kind of like tip that I'll give you tonight is at the end of a tail out, so riffle, run, pool, and then you kind of got a very slow tail out. Oftentimes when there's not a lot going on, if you go down to that spot of the river and you just look, you're going to see just barely rising fish. And they tend to be really big fish. I have a lot of success fishing a Griffiths gnat. And now a Griffiths gnat is really hard to see, especially if you don't have get them with like a little cider piece built into them. What's it called? Like a high vis Griffiths gnat. So what you can do, and we've talked about it before, is just kind of do like a double dry setup. So maybe you have a caddis and then you have a Griffiths gnat. And then you just kind of see something move close to your caddis and you set the hook and you got the fish of a lifetime. But yeah, spend a little more, pay a little more attention downstream of those riffle run pools, and those tail outs are kind of a really popular place to find midging fish. The Lady McConnell, the parachute midge, the high vis midge, the high vis Griffiths gnat. I don't know if you'd ever want to fish a single. Like, good luck. Let me know how that goes. The pro tip that I got for you before Tim starts to tie is that the midges are a year-round food source. Trout feed on them at every stage. Instead of like trying to find the favorite pattern or asking your local river people like what's the fly, spend more time watching fish than fishing for fish, because a lot can be said if you just go down to the river and spend a couple hours watching fish behavior. I still do this. I still am fascinated at trying to put together their patterns and why they're doing things. And I think if we would spend more time studying fish or watching fish, we will all become better anglers. And the last part of that tip is just understand that all stages of flies are fish food. So learn them at all those stages that are super important, because you will become a better angler. And that's Getting Buggy with Dana, the Half Pint Midge. Adios. That was Mexican.
Adios. That was good.
Wow.
That was well played.
Look at this outfit.
Wow. You got to be able to see that midge, so I mean, it's still better than this, right? So you got to just keep it clean.
Is that why you were doing push-ups over here?
Yeah, I'm trying to get swole. See the little vein popping out.
I should turn down the brightness on your camera.
No, it's good. I like it. All right, guys, this is the Half Pint Midge. Like Dana said, it's such a cool, effective pattern, but sometimes we forget to fish them because they're always in the system. This is a small one. If this is my pointer finger, okay, so that's a small fly, and this is size 18, and this wouldn't even really be on the small side of a midge. You could definitely go like 20, 22. So really, really small bug. But the patterns are often very easy to tie when they're this small, which is to our advantage in a pattern like this. There's only a few materials. We use thread to build the body, and it's gonna make for a pretty simple pattern. So if you're in your kit, go ahead, get your bead secured on your hook. Remember, you do wanna put the smaller end of the bead, or the smaller hole is gonna go through the eye of your hook, or sorry, through the hook of your hook first, the point. and get that fixed up at the top. I'll get mine out of here and we'll get started on this pattern. So like we talked about earlier, we're gonna be tying this with some UTC 70. You definitely wanna be small here. We're gonna be very mindful of the amount of thread we add in our wraps. We do not want to overdo it in the wrapping department because it's gonna bulk up this fly. And the majority of the profile of this fly is actually built from the thread itself. So you don't wanna overdo it. I do suggest tipping the angle of your fly down a little bit, especially on this hook. So we wanna put thread wraps and the flash material, the tail, all the way down into the bend. Midges, if you ever really see them in your hand, they're squirmy, especially in the nymph or emerger stage, and their bodies are often bent. So we like to use the hook bend to kind of imitate that. So let's go ahead, grab our black thread. Let's get this fly started. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my thread just behind the bead. I'm gonna take just a few thread wraps forward before trimming out that tag end. And we're gonna get right to our first material right off the bat here. I'm gonna actually bring my thread with a couple of open wraps, or one takes to get back to the bead or close to it. We're gonna then go ahead and grab, you have your crystal flash. Okay, this is gonna form the tail and the wing or the thorax of this fly. And so we wanna basically, out of a long piece you have in your kit, I would just cut it in half, and this is gonna give you enough to do a few of them. So we basically need to make 4 strands of crystal flash. So on this piece I just cut, I'm gonna double it over. I'm gonna match up the tips. I'm gonna come into the bend that's left over. I'm gonna come down, trim that. And now I need to do that one more time because I've only got 2 strands now. So let's double it over one more time. And that should leave us with 4 strands of crystal flash. Come in again, clip out each of those bottom portions. And now I'm left with 4 strands of crystal flash. They should be lined up at least on one end or the other decently, but it's okay if they're not perfect because we are gonna end up trimming these. We're gonna leave them long on either end and then trim them to size. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna tie starting in right behind the bead. So I'm gonna leave myself a little bit of extra out the front. That might be a little bit much, but we'll come in here. We're gonna get a nice gathering wrap. I'm gonna try to pinch it with the edge of my finger so that stays right up on top of the hook shank, okay? Now, before I go any further down the hook shank, if any of those crystal flash have moved from one side to the other of the hook shank, I wanna just pull up and kind of wiggle them and make sure that they're sitting right up vertical behind the bead. So if I show you from the top of the fly, they're coming right off the top of that hook shank. Now I'm gonna lift up as I start wrapping rearward, nice even touching wraps. Every time we go up and down this hook, we are creating the underbody to the fly. So we are being a little strategic with our wraps each time we do it. We wanna keep nice touching wraps as we go into that bend. As you see, I went over the edge of the bend a little ways. Now when I trim this tail, it's gonna tip down and off the back of the fly, giving it that fly its shape, and the back end of the fly giving it that curve. So when I'm gonna trim this tail, I wanna think of the tail being about half the overall length of the hook shank. So if I'm measuring about halfway down the hook shank, kind of gauge that with your eyes, slip your scissors under, and trim, okay? So that tail isn't gonna be the full hook shank in length, it's just gonna be about half that hook shank. Set those 4 pieces of crystal flash aside, you're gonna have enough to do another fly. Now, while I'm here, I'm just gonna take big open spiral. So on a small hook like this, I can probably do it in 1 or 2 wraps to get right back behind the bead, okay? Now I'm gonna go into my kit and grab my size extra small, midge size silver wire. We're gonna tie this in at the bead and we're gonna work it all the way back down to where we left the flash. And this is gonna be our counter ribbing, or what's gonna give the segmentation to this fly. You see my thread there, how it's kind of unwound. Before I start doing this, I just wanna spin my bobbin so it winds that thread back up. I'm gonna attach this wire to the near side of the fly, just behind the bead. And I'm gonna start taking, again, touching wraps back and down, trying to even out that underbody as we go all the way down the fly. If I have any little pieces of wire sticking through, because it's on the near side of the fly that you can see, just make sure you're getting it covered up with that thread because it will show through. Now I'm gonna take this all the way down to where I left my tail, right about there. Now this is gonna be the last time I come back up the fly. So now I'm gonna do a good touching wrap all the way back up the fly. This is the last time that I should have to come back up the fly with my thread, besides building the thorax. So I bring it all the way up to the bead. And now I'm just gonna gauge it. I'm gonna look at it. This one actually looks very nice and evenly tapered. If I had a little bit of a hump in the middle, I would go back and forth. I do like to build up that thorax a little bit on like a zebra midge, but on this pattern, we're gonna build that up with some dubbing anyways, so I'm not worried about it. I like how that tapers out. It's a little thicker up at the top behind the bead, and it slowly tapers off towards the tail. Now from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my wire, and I'm gonna start doing some nice and even spiral wraps forward. And we wanna do our best to keep them evenly spaced. That's gonna make this be more appealing to our eye and hopefully the fish's eye. And this just gives ribbing to the fly. It makes that segmentation of the body look more realistic. And that silver under the water really pops out, really makes it look realistic. Take a couple thread wraps behind and a couple thread wraps in front and repeat, and that should lock in that wire. And as this is a nice small wire, we should be able to helicopter it off, meaning I'm just going in that motion, twisting, and it should break off and be secured under my thread.
Quick question that Ken had was about nano silk.
Yeah, Ken, that's
just touch on like the slippery aspect of it.
Yeah, nano silk is great. And I use it, honestly, when I'm tying, I use it a lot because I like the strength of it. Like you said, the UT70 is thin, so if you clip it on your hook point, often that causes your thread to break. So it's a great idea. Nano silk is about 3 times the cost of regular thread, so that's something that plays into it, if you're gonna wanna purchase that or not. But as far as the application of it, it's great to use, but like Dana said, because it's so strong and has that aspect to it, it's actually a very slippery thread. So when you're securing down materials, you really gotta be sure that you've got thread wraps on both sides of that material, otherwise your material could slip out without much problem. So you don't want that to happen. Okay, so now we're up here. We need to set our wings, we're gonna call them. So we're gonna use the crystal flash to build some wings that are gonna basically point back and down the fly. Now to do that, I need to come up here and I need to separate out 2 so that 2 pieces are on one side of the fly and 2 are on the other. And they should kind of naturally be 2 closer to each other and they almost pair up. So I've got 2 in my fingers here. And what I'm gonna do is actually some cross wraps. So almost like when you tie in dumbbell eyes, I'm gonna create a little figure 8 around them. I'm gonna come back in front, then I'm gonna come over here behind this other set of wings, put a thread wrap behind. And all that's meant to do is do this. It's just meant to point them rearward and back and down the fly. Now we're gonna come back in with some dubbing and set those wings the way we want them to be. These ones actually ended up turning out right where we want them to be, but the dubbing will help if they didn't quite. So I'm gonna lift up on them a little bit. I'm gonna bring my thread back behind, and I'm gonna take my thread about a bead length behind the bead, and I'm gonna go over to the dubbing you have in your kit. This is a super fine black dubbing.
That's a lot of dubbing.
It's for this pattern, that's probably enough for about 50,000 of these flies. Just come in here and grab just the smallest little wisp. We don't need much at all. Like, it's really not much. And now we need to make a little dubbing noodle. We've done lots of these recently. We're gonna put our dubbing up against our thread, and with our fingers going in a singular motion. I didn't say it. I'm getting better verbiage, so you can't do it. But I will, because I'm kind. You need to spin it in one direction.
That's what makes you beautiful.
Wow!
Nice. Well played. Just like that. So I've got a noodle that's probably about 1.5 inches long. I'm gonna start by taking a couple wraps till the dubbing starts hitting the hook shank. I'm gonna take a couple of wraps behind. And now I'm gonna split my wings just like I did before. And I wanna get a thread wrap in front of the wing on one side. I'm gonna pull the wing on this side back, and I'm gonna get another thread wrap here. And now I'm just gonna finish out that dubbing. I'm gonna take just a smidge off. And I want that dubbing to finish just in front of those wings. So it looks like that. You can see how they splayed out nicely. They're basically pointed up and back. Now I'm gonna slip my my thread in behind that bead. I'm gonna take a few wraps, then I'm gonna come in with my whip finish tool, and I'm gonna whip finish this fly right here. And then we just gotta do a little bit of trimming on our wings, and this fly will be complete. So come in here, I'm gonna do a 3 or 4 turn whip finish right behind that bead. And I'm actually gonna do this twice. I'm not gonna put resin up into this dubbing because it really forces it to clump up in a funny way, and I don't like the way it finishes. So I'm just gonna do a couple of knots, which is just about as good from the strength department. Make sure that knot is nice and tight. I'm gonna come in and trim out my thread. Now that dubbing should have built up just a little bit of a thorax. Thorax being just the front of the body where the wings and the legs are gonna form out of, and it just causes it to look a little bigger. Now for trimming my wings, I want my wings to come back roughly halfway again down the hook shank. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm pulling that rearward with my fingers. That's why we left a little bit of extra on there. And I'm gonna trim one side so you can see the difference in length. Okay, now I'm gonna come in, trim the other side to the same length. So they're paired up, and if they're not quite even, just match them up. So they look like this. Wow. And if you're really picky, because it looks very clear on there, just go in and clean up that dubbing a little bit so you don't have any big furry pieces hanging off. And that is the Half Pint Midge. Not a super difficult pattern, just a really small pattern, and I think a super effective pattern. So tie a bunch up. Definitely this is the go-to color. Sometimes olive, or doing it like Dana said, there's the bloodworm version, and that would just be doing the same thing, but with red thread. And it would turn out pretty much the same.
Red.
Well, that's
red thread.
Half Pint Midge.
That's making me hungry, because it makes a trout hungry. Talking about all this trout eating all the time, and we got more to show you at the baking. Oh, look at this.
Oh, little dollops.
Can't remember if this one was supposed to go before the last one, but in the process of everything being wonderful, do you think this is before? I think this is before. Anyways, you can see the labor of love that goes into this. Let us know in the comments. Did you guys order some baking to pick up tomorrow? Because I sure did. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what shows up once Maggie is done with this stuff. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't have a voice.
That's a good point.
There we are.
I'll keep you that way.
I don't know what this is going to turn into, but labor of love is the right word.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think is going to turn out into the baking cam? Oh, there they are.
Oh,
big brown.
Oh, she squished. I
Just,
thought she was going to leave those up like that.
no, I think because, oh, look at that. They just,
Oh, this looks like
they
a
give
little,
in to the pressure.
dish.
They give in to the pressure. So,
Never.
so
Never.
it's kind of making like a little bit of, oh, no, we got a bit of, we washed
You
them.
think that is butter?
I bet you it's better than butter. Maybe it's
It looks a
butter.
little too white for butter. Maybe it's something with some powdered sugar in it.
Yeah, some amazing things. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. What
Yeah,
do you
Maggie,
think?
are you in the comments?
What
Come
do
on.
you think? I think that's how I'm going to have to leave it right now, because I think that's a great point.
Yeah,
I think we can
good.
leave it right there and we're going to check out Black Stag Bakery. And what does Maggie got for us?
Leave some mystery.
Bread. Somebody says bread.
Oh, yeah. Trevis bread.
What a great fly. One of my go-to flies is the trailer for trout. That's right.
Mm.
I got another trick with that fly, but you're going to want to stay put through the deep and dark hours of...
It's beer thawing! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
Are we ready for this?
Well, I think I'm excited for it. Got to get that one off
Makes
here.
one of us.
This was the... this was this one here. For our American friends, we maketh you have something you could have got if you're in America.
Yeah, from Tired
is
Hands Brewing.
Double Alien Church. Double Indian Pale Ale. The beer in this can is hyper fresh, ultra filtered, and fragile. Keep cold. Oh, yeah.
I need some spoons. It is a Galactic Imperial IPA.
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
Man.
Tell us about it.
And it comes in strong with intense tropical fruit. I can't read that word.
I I think it's supposed to say 10%. A Galactic Imperial IPA that comes in strong with intense tropical fruit, resinous pine, and dank hop flavors.
Oh man,
brewed with a double. Sorry, Aaron, you're back in. Brewed with a double dose of Citra, Mosaic, and Columbus hops. This beer is packed with juicy citrus-forward notes, finishing off with a smooth but very hoppy bite. It pairs well with spicy Mexican dishes, bold cheeses, and late-night fly tying sessions fueled by questionable decisions.
Wow, that pairs with a lot of good things.
Here we go, team.
Here it is.
Let's see it. It's not dark. It's very gold. Got to show that can. That can.
Anything's got to
epic.
beat the last one.
Can, the same one that's in the picture on the screen.
No, but it looks. You got to show the right angle of it. Isn't it like a skull or something?
Yeah.
On the screen, it doesn't look like that.
It won't focus.
They definitely get points for their marketing on the can.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's what you're gonna want to do when you start drinking it.
Serious?
Yeah. Once again, I get the glass full of head.
That's like an airbrush idea for the next boat.
Yeah, right. That'd be so epic.
Right?
That'd be great.
Tired Hands Brewing.
This is a record, I think, for the highest IBU we've experienced.
Yeah, and alcohol. I think it was 10, and I did.
Is this the 10 one?
I think it was.
Well,
You
look
can
at the
up
can. You have the
I
can.
should
We
say.
don't have it.
I think I screwed up. It's supposed to be 10. Here we go.
Oh man, you can just. It almost wants to hop right out of the glass.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I don't think it's replacing my wall
The
of
last
fame.
one's a dark beer, and I thought that would be good to finish off with Maggie's whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
All right, here we go.
Let's try it. That's pretty good. That is not what I expected.
It's hop. It's
I don't think they tell you on the can.
It's what?
like the hop.
But what was it like? Ah, yeah. That's what it is. Ha! I want to get you a couple of coconuts. Coconut bra.
I think you needed one of those.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I'm actually really surprised. Like to be hoppy, it's hop at the start and then finishes smooth.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Like, I don't know if you're doing 4 of them in a row, but
no. It's got some fun flavor in it. It's very full.
good body.
I'm just like
Very hoppy.
I'm not on the same page as you guys.
Like in a good. You don't like it at all?
At the most.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. I might
that's,
even.
That's exactly what I was gonna go with.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay, I'm gonna go 3. I think 3 was my.
Steve Lyle's in the house.
This is like a bloody first, Steve
Guys,
Lyle.
Steve Lyle's in the house. Should
We
we
need to stop the show and just praise the moment.
praise the moment?
Well, Steve, it's great to see you join us. I miss you, buddy. Haven't seen you in too long.
I said a couple weeks ago, it's not the same seeing not the real Jen Lyle up there, right? Coming
I
in
feel
now
like
like
snapping
that.
actually like applies to this genre of music, doesn't it?
Is it a genre?
I think so. Culturally
Speaking
speaking.
of Jean, where's Jean? Jean Honorati. Okay, what are you giving it, Tim? We got to move on.
Gotta go on 3.
Hey, Ron.
I want to
Coachman.
do the halfer in there, but I know we can't. So
Well, you can because you don't have any.
You don't actually have
I don't even
so
have
you're
icons.
useless.
I would go 2.5 beers.
That's a good point. He's somewhere in the middle.
So what would
Yeah.
that be? It's between a whitefish that fights like a brown trout and a solid day nymphing.
Well,
I like those whiteys that fight like a brown.
What are those? That other species we have in the bow? It's like catching a bourbon.
rainbows.
No,
They're
a bourbon.
rainbows.
Oh man, it's good.
Well, Steve missed it. The shirt was off. You might want to stick around. And the nipple was out.
It was.
And Steve missed last week. So, Steve, so much to catch up on.
Steve,
Good
I'm going to just quickly send you a video.
Yeah, you should. That's good stuff. Oh, beer 30. We're going to be tying up. Let's just get to the next fly. Let's just get to the next fly.
You want us to go for it?
Yeah, I want to go for it.
That was a good one.
Got a couple
that last one was good.
adaptations.
Okay, get buggy.
You like it? I don't want to get buggy. I want to say thanks to our sponsors, and then we'll get buggy. I got to change the camera. Bye.
There we go.
Wrong button.
Leave you hanging.
It's like I just about rolled out of here. I was like, bye. And I'm like, oh,
click.
I'm still here.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.
I'm an LMFAO.
Oh,
hey, we're back.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? What's up?
That's us.
What's going on?
Hey,
this is a much
at least
better
we
look.
both got the ginger. A little uptight, a little up close.
Yeah.
All right, Kate,
like it.
we're just changing up things a little bit here because we can, because that's the way it works.
We choose
the
like
beer
the direction.
was just getting worse, guys.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on.
It's not a good week in the beer department. Maybe
I
the last
like
one.
hoppy beers, but this is like, it's just intense. And it's not even, it's the hop is intense. It's just intense.
It's intense. I'll give you that.
All right, we're going to get buggy with Dana and talk about the streamer. You get your thread ready. You're probably going to put in a 140.
Yeah. Any color, don't matter.
We got some things to discuss on this pattern and your kits.
We do. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Dina, I think something's happening to me. First, it was my hat, and now my shirt is turning green. Am I molting?
Nah, Sketchy, you're learning. And every week you get a little more knowledge, and with that comes, well, a little more color.
So you're saying the smarter I get, the less sketchy I become?
That's the theory, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now, let me tell you about a fly that's small but mighty, just like your growing wisdom, the Half Pint Streamer.
Whoa, Dana. Hold up. You went with the half pint? You're really selling yourself short, my dude.
Well, listen up, Sketchy. Sometimes less is more. Take this Half Pint Streamer, for example. It's a compact fly that packs a serious punch, just like the perfectly portioned milkshake.
Wait. So this isn't some baby-sized streamer that the troll laugh at?
Not even close. The Half Pint Streamer is all business. Big enough to trigger aggressive eats, but small enough that even the picky trout on the clear waters can't say no. It's got a juicy marabou tail for movement, a flashy mallard flank for realism, and a fat copper cone to get it down quick.
All right, so it's got the flow and the flair, but can it handle big fish?
Oh, you bet. The Half Pint's magic is that it works for both trout and, why not, smallmouth bass. The combination of natural colors and flashy accents makes it deadly in rivers, lakes, and even clear water streams.
So, basically, it's the perfect size meal. Just filling enough, but doesn't make you regret your choices later or need a nap.
Exactly. You throw this fly on a sink-tipped line or a weighted leader, give it a few strips, and boom, big eats.
Wait. Let me guess. Trout don't think, they just eat?
Bingo. The copper cone head gets it down into the strike zone fast, and the fish just react. The Half Pint Streamer doesn't give them time to overthink. Kind of like how you just inhaled that burger.
Listen, Dana, if it looks good, you eat first and you ask questions later. I'm starting to think I finally understand how the trout feel.
Well, if that ain't the truth, getting the fish to eat first and ask questions later. So the Half Pint Streamer is originally done up as a articulated fly, so you can do that and add these two together. If you want to do that, feel free. On one of your patterns, you can double them up however you wish, but let's talk about this. There's not a lot of entomology in streamers, as it's kind of more bait fish, but we're going to touch on a couple little things here while Tim finishes getting ready for you guys. The Half Pint Streamer is developed by Dominic Swentowski of Trout Bitten as a similar single hook version of the, like I said, the articulated full pint streamer. It's inspired by the Moto's Minnow. Swentowski adapted the colors and the materials to create a more compact pattern suitable for targeting trout that prefer smaller prey. The Half Pint Streamer has since become a favorite amongst anglers for its effectiveness in imitating small bait fish and the versatility in various feeding conditions. So remember that maybe in the more clean, clear waters, high sun, this would be the fly that you would like to fish. You're going to want to write that down and take it to the river right beside your Half Pint Streamer. So it's a very good bait fish pattern, and it's designed to mimic small sculpin, juvenile trout, bait fish. The fly is perfect for anglers who want a streamer that triggers aggressive strikes without overpowering the water. So I've kind of changed my ways lately, where I used to fish a lot of like big, heavy streamers. Oftentimes, most times, I find it most effective to fish smaller streamers. And now it's not always about the size of the streamer per se. It can be, but I think what?
It's about what you can do with it.
It's about what you can do with your streamer, and that is a fact. And I know it's a gag on all of the sexual innuendos in life, but truly, hear me out with all due love and respect. Not many people can fish streamers well. And I say well because it's a lot of work to fish a streamer. You're actually fishing the streamer. You're actually using your rod to make that streamer act according to the materials that were used to tie the fly. So not all streamers are to be fished the same way. Now that's really important to understand, because something a little more slender like the Half Pint Streamer, it's more on the angler to make that fly dense. And your rod tip, the way you strip, the way you retrieve, if you just cast and bring it back to the boat or to the shore, well, that's on you. And you're missing out on 95% of the fun of streamer fishing, is actually putting yourself in the driver's seat of that streamer and making it work. And I will say this again, the pattern, and So some people are like, my favorite pattern is the circus peanut. My favorite pattern is the sex dungeon. And I say that's bull poopy, because that pattern doesn't work in all conditions. And that's what I got to say about that. So you got to know how to fish the streamer. This is a very light streamer. We do have some weight. We do have a cone head. But this thing's going to dance, especially some of the little variations that we're going to kind of throw at you guys to just kind of teach you a little bit about streamer fishing. I get it all the time where people say, I want to catch a fish on a streamer. I am a streamer fisherman. I love streamer fishing. And I say to them, are you okay to streamer fish all day and not catch a fish? And they stare at me like I'm from another planet. And that's a real question, because if you truly are a dedicated streamer fisherman, you have to be okay with no fish showing up. Because the reason you're streamer fishing is because that's the way you like to fish. That's the way you like to catch fish. And fish aren't always keying in on bait fish. Okay? So kind of going on a bit of a rant here. But it's because something I feel passionate about. Oftentimes people get an hour into streamer fishing and they turn to me and say, it's not working. And so that's kind of a dead giveaway that they're not really streamer fishermen. I have a small handful of anglers who will come and streamer fish all day and maybe get 1 or 2 takes, or they get 50 takes, but they like to streamer fish. Okay. That's my rant about streamer fishing. Nothing to do with this fly, but just remember that this fly is only as good as you are at fishing it. Cast it, strip it in, cast it, strip it in, or cast it, mend it, high stick it, dance it. Make this fly do the magic because of the way that the fly was designed and the fly is tied. Very, 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 write those down. Those are tips that you're going to take to the bank. Message me after if you have questions, because I would love to talk to you more about becoming a better streamer fisherman. And that's kind of really all I got about that idea of it. Have you ever thought of putting a streamer under an indicator? Well, a good friend of ours won a absolute classic fishing. What was that? The Oilmans? A big bobber and a double dungeon. You can dead drift streamers, and there's some guides. We have buddies in Montana, and they do this, and it's very effective. So start thinking outside the box. Sometimes we do this with clients. If we know streamer fishing is on and streamer fishing isn't their forte, we can put a couple smaller streamers underneath of an indicator, and we can have a lot of success that way. And the fact that maybe they do or don't mend, it probably works in our favor. Sometimes you can get into fast riffles and you can get them to mend downstream. And then the fly line gets taken by the river and those streamers take off out of that riffle, and whammo, they get hit. Like all this stuff here you guys have read, talked about it. It's really important to understand that there's not one way to fish a streamer. Am I got any questions up there? And I think I keep saying that's it, but that's kind of it. Pockets, waters, riffles. I just talked about it. Seams and drop off. All the place. Don't think I'm streamer fishing. Fish are magically hanging out in different spots because I'm a streamer fisherman. Fish hang where fish hang, and there's a reason that they're there. Okay, undercut banks. They're also gonna eat flies like grasshoppers and stoneflies and nymphs. But it's a really fun place to fish streamers because you can entice them in more of that predatory, like that's their zone, and they will come out and eat those streamers. Really fun. That's a great fun place to get streamers. You can stand at the top of a riffle run pool and you can cast it downstream and you can let it swing through pools. There's many ways. We talked about it kind of last week where you can sort of Euro nymph your streamers. You can just cast upstream and tight line them downstream. So many fun ways to fish streamers. I highly encourage you to go give some of these a try and report back to me and say, how did it go? How was it? That's all I got. That's getting buggy. That's more so Dana's rant about streamer fishing. But if you're still with us, let's tie this fly. And then we're going to come back and we're going to play Flyingo with you guys. I'll let Tim take it from here.
All right, guys. Let's talk a little bit more about this bug. Let's get into tying it and see what we can figure out. So first thing we're going to talk about is the I don't love touching myself.
So bright.
The explanation of how we did it in the quick ties, which you can see come out in the next couple days, versus what we're going to show tonight. And the reason we're showing you a little bit different version is because we understand the material in the kits is probably going to be lacking in quantity if you do it the actual way this streamer was originally tied and that I show in the quick tie. If you got lots of materials at home, the quick tie is great for that. We're just going to show you a little different style because there is 2 different ways that this fly is tied. One takes less material, and that's the version I'm going to show you tonight. It's going to be a little bit more use of dubbing and less use of the actual mallard flank, which the majority of this fly is built from. Second thing I want to say about this fly is when you're tying it, don't expect it to look pretty. This pattern is one of those ones that doesn't really come together till the end and truly doesn't come together until you're fishing it. We're using mallard flank to tie it in like a soft tackle. That is not a natural form for this feather to be used in, but man, does it turn out and look great in the end, and in the water even better. So we have these feathers that are being wrapped. Obviously, when a big feather like this is wrapped, it's opening itself up, it's giving profile with very light material that's just gonna dance like this in the water. So in the color scheme we're going tonight, we're tying with natural colored mallard flank as well as dyed wood duck color mallard flank. And that combo together, in my opinion, you couldn't get much closer to a juvenile brown trout. Like
bright sunny days.
Yeah, it's a fly that you're gonna want to have in your box. Definitely can be tied in other colors than olives and blacks and just maybe even natural all whites colors with the mallard flank. But I think this one for local waters, thinking brown trout in mind, if there's brown trout in your system or sculpins, I think this is a great color pattern to go with. So let's head on over to the vise, see what this looks like, and we'll get on to the fly itself. So it's composed of only a couple materials, 3 in fact. We have marabou, we have mallard flank, and we have a yellow-orange dubbing that we're gonna be using, okay? Now, as you can see, this looks like a messy hair day kind of fly, but think of, I'll add some moisture to this and stream it back. So what it's gonna look like in the water, you see as soon as I let go, how it pops right back up. All those pieces and fibers of that feather are gonna dance in the water as this thing moves. It really is an all-around for like the size that's in your kit. Like this is the size of fly. Like Dana said, we've kind of transitioned away from a lot of these bigger streamers to fishing these more smaller 2 to 3, maybe 4-inch streamers. Originally, like this is the half pint streamer. They call it the full pint streamer, which is basically 2 of these stacked on each other in an articulated fashion. I think this is a little better, and I like the way that this one turns out in the water as is. So let's get to the vise with a new hook and a cone. So this is tied with a cone head. As you can see here, you want it to be oriented this way, meaning that the hook needs to go through the small portion of the eye first so that the cone is oriented properly. Let's go ahead and get that fixed in our vise, and we'll get on to tying this pattern. So one little trick, it's not an essential piece of this pattern for weight or for any other reason that I like how it sits, the cone sits on the hook shank. You always have a little bit of a funny thing when you have a hook that's got a downturned eye and also have a cone. It just doesn't sit normal or natural. It wants to move around a lot. If you have any spare lead wire on your desk somewhere, I always keep a couple of wraps of it on the post of my vise just in case for reasons like this. Like I said, this isn't for the fly pattern. It's just for structuring that cone. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna make a handful of wraps forward, just building up a little bit of a dam. And when I slide this forward into the cone, it's gonna hold the cone in a better position. This specific wire is 0.20, 0.30 is better for this size of cone. It holds it better, but all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap rearward back over it. So I'm basically doing a few wraps that are doubled over itself. I pull and break off that lead wrap, and I'm gonna slide that forward right into the bead and then manage that tag in around a couple more times. Like I said, that's just there to hold that cone in place and make it a little easier for myself as I move forward. Not a necessary piece if you don't have it, just something I like to do. I'm tying with this golden olive, it's called, thread in UTC 140. Again, color doesn't matter. Thread's not gonna show on this fly. So I'm gonna start, because I am using the lead on there. If you're not, start it right behind the cone. I'm just gonna build a little dam just behind that lead so that it can't move forward on me. So I'll start my thread right here. I'll come in, trim out that tag end. I'm gonna start taking some open spiral wraps rearward. I'm gonna get about halfway down, a little more than halfway down the hook shank, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a piece of marabou out of your kit. We have this tan colored marabou. I'm gonna slick it back. I am not gonna take the tips off on this one. I'm gonna leave them full length. I'm gonna measure out a tail. I again like to add a little moisture to this, just helps it sit together so I can measure better. But I want a tail that's roughly a hook shank in length, maybe a little bit under, but not over. So once I've got that measured, I'm gonna transfer that measurement back to the bend of the hook. Then I'll switch my hands over and I'm gonna tie that in, not quite at the bend, but a little bit forward of the bend. I'm gonna get a couple of loose wraps and then start pull down and tighten. Now, as I move rearward, just to make sure that my marabou stays oriented on the top of the hook shank, I'm gonna be lifting up on that marabou as I move back and down. And when I get to about the barb on the hook itself, that's where I am gonna stop. And now I'm gonna move back forward, really securing that marabou. Now that marabou should be right up on top, sticking out the back end of this fly. And I'm gonna take some open spiral wraps up over the tag end of this marabou, and I'm gonna trim it off so that I'm basically building an underbody with it, and I'm gonna trim it off so it lines up roughly with the end of that wire. And if I didn't have the wire on there, I would take it all the way up to the cone. And I'm just gonna finish securing the tag ends of that.
Janine's excited to know that she finally found her tank top.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's,
I didn't realize this was a woman's tank top till you told me.
And then Sean wonders where Tim went, because Joe Dirt seems to be tying tonight.
I'm really getting a lot of personas here. Kind of like
It's
it.
good to keep people entertained.
Keep them guessing. Okay, guys, from here, we are going to go to our orange dubbing. Now, again, this is a little different than showed in the quick tie, but I'm gonna bring my dubbing up about a third of the hook shank, and that's where I'm gonna start tying in my mallard flank. Whereas in the quick tie, I started it right at the back of the marabou. It just takes more mallard flank to accomplish basically the same thing. What I like about this style is that it actually gives an underbody hotspot to this fly, and it's something else that just might grab that fish's attention. So like we did in the last fly when we're creating a dubbing noodle, it's the same thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come in here.
Because Steve's new here.
Yeah, he's not new.
He wants to know if those wraps were done in one direction.
No, they're not, but the dubbing noodle will be created by taking your fingers, placing some thread,
doing
spinning your fingers in a singular
what?
one direction.
That's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah,
and no
something
true
like that.
words have ever been said. That is what makes you beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, carry on.
Thank you very much.
Your show.
Okay, so I'm starting my dubbing noodle. I'm gonna make a fairly long dubbing noodle, and I am making it more or less fairly bulky. I'm spinning it as tight as I can. I'm not gonna be going up very far in the hook shank to start, but I am gonna be laying down a decent underbody with this orange dubbing. So once I've got about 3 inches of dubbing noodle here, I'm gonna start right at the back by that marabou and start doing touching wraps up and forward. Now, something that's you gotta kind of understand with streamers themselves, they are just bigger versions of nymphs or dries in the technique department. We're not trying to create anything that looks overly perfect. That's why I like streamers, and that's how I learned tying flies was streamers. It's more simple. You're not having to do like super specific things because it's not in a fashion of being small, right? We get to just kind of mess around. In the end, they always end up looking quite good, but you don't have to be super precise in your portions and everything like that, okay? So like I said, we've taken that dubbing forward about a third of the hook shank. Now from here, we're gonna start our first steps with the mallard flank. So I want you to go into your kit. You're gonna have different lengths of mallard flank. So for instance, this is a really beautiful mallard flank, nice and long fibers on it, versus something like this one in the natural color I have sitting here. It's a lot smaller. It's not near as big. Looks as good, but not the same length of fiber. So I want you to go to one that's shorter, and we're gonna start off with one in the natural color, so in the white and black, which is the natural off a mallard. I'm gonna come down here. If I have any fluffies at the bottom, let's just get those out of the way. And now I wanna use about half of this one side of the feather. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna grab just a big clump of this fiber. I'm gonna try to get basically half of it from one side. I'm gonna peel it off. So I've got this big long strip. I'm gonna clump them up in my fingers, roughly keeping the butt ends together, but doesn't have to be perfect, but something close. And from this position, you see it kind of looks wonky. They're going all over the place. Again, trust the process. This is about what turns out at the very end. It's not what it looks like right now. So I'm gonna take this natural colored mallard flank and I'm gonna be putting a portion, so half of that feather on one side and half on the feather on the other side. So I'm gonna start right here. It's gonna extend down into the marabou, about a quarter of the way down that feather. I'm gonna secure it right here to the side of the hook. And I don't really want it to go anywhere else but stay on one side or the other. So near side or far side. Do your best to kind of wiggle it around, spread it out. You can come in here and actually pull on it and separate those fibers a little bit so you get a little better coverage. I'm gonna grab that feather that I pulled that off of, and I'm gonna grab the half on this side now, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the near side of the fly. So I peeled those off, gonna grab the butt ends, and I'm gonna lay them now on the near side of the fly, again extending about a quarter of the way back and down that marabou, and tie those off. So this is what I'm left with right now. I've kind of got it on one side and the other, not on the underside, okay? That's gonna be something the fish can see, is that hot spot from the underside. Now I'm gonna find myself a smaller feather again in the wood duck dyed color, okay? And I'm gonna grab a really big clump off one side. Again, about half the feather. I'm gonna come down, pinch and pull, strip those off, stack them up with my fingers, and I'm left with something like this. And now this piece is gonna go right on top. So I'm gonna clump them up and I'm gonna tie those roughly the same length as the other mallard flank, but this one's gonna go right on top of the hook shank itself. Now once I got those secured, I'm gonna run my thread forward and secure the butts of the other ones, okay? Bring my thread right back to here again. And now we're gonna go back to the dubbing again. I'm gonna take some dubbing forward, and this has nothing to do because it won't really be seen, but I'm gonna use dubbing to create an underbody that my mallard flank will wrap up a little nicer than just the bare thread or the butt ends of that feather. So I'm just gonna quickly make a little dubbing noodle. Again, I'm not worried about this being anything specific because I'm gonna run my thread right through it and not even think about it because I'm not worried about that part of it. But I'm gonna dub this all the way up to just behind the cone itself. So I'm gonna do a fairly long noodle here. Might even have to add a little more. And I'm just gonna start dubbing forward. Just generally open spiral wraps, again, not trying to make anything look pretty. I'm gonna come in here, add just a little bit more so I can get all the way up to the edge of that cone. Do just a little more. Okay, now that I've got my dubbing all the way forward, I'm simply gonna open spiral wrap my thread back and through that dubbing. So it's sitting right back where I left those other pieces of mallard flank. Now, from here on out, we're not gonna be stripping pieces off and tying them on or tying them to the sides. We're simply gonna be actually wrapping forward some of these mallard flanks. And we're gonna start with natural color and then go wood duck. It's always gonna go natural wood duck. Now, depending on the size of your feathers, you might have to alternate more than once. Depending if they're bigger feathers, you might only have to do one natural, one mallard, or one wood duck. It just depends on the size of your feather. So I'm gonna grab one of my naturals here. It's a little bit bigger one, but it's still not huge. I'm gonna start by just stripping off the fluffies off the bottom just so I have something to hold on to on the stem. Now I need to come in here and expose the very tip. So I'm gonna pull down on the feather, down the stem, and try to expose kind of just the very tip like that. Now I'm gonna tie it in so that the underside of the feather or the curve is going back and down the fly itself. I'm gonna secure this in right here. Take a couple thread wraps, make sure that's good and secure, and I should be left with my feather. As you can see, the underside is pointed back and down the fly. Now, this is where it's really gonna start to look messy, okay? It's not gonna come out looking perfect, but again, trust the process. I'm just gonna trim out this little tag end or the tip that I tied in. Just make sure that you have that good and secure. Now I'm gonna run my thread forward about half the way up that dubbing because I know this is where the feather's gonna take me to. And now I'm gonna start wrapping, palmering this feather forward. As it goes, I'm trying to encourage the fibers rearward by grabbing and sliding my fingers back and down the stem. And I'm just doing nice open spiral wraps forward towards the cone. And when I run out of material on the stem of the fly is when I'm gonna tie it off. But I don't wanna tie it off early. I wanna make sure I use all of it that I can, keeping kind of touching wraps. Okay, so it got me to right about there. Gonna kind of hold those fibers out of the way. I'm gonna back my thread back so I can get behind the stem, thread wrap behind the stem, thread wrap in front of the stem. To be left with something like this. Again, messy hair day. Don't worry about it right now. It's gonna come together. I'll trim out that stem. I'm gonna pull all of that fiber rearward and I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps back over top of it. Okay? So I'm left with something like that. Now I gotta go to my my wood duck colored mallard flank. So I'm gonna grab one of these guys. Gonna do the same thing. With the size of feathers I have here, I'm probably gonna have to do this twice for each feather. I'm gonna pull it down until I expose the stem. Again, the concave or the underside is gonna be pointed back rearward down the fly. I'm gonna come in, secure that tip. And sometimes on these tips, I really like the way that the barring is. You can see it right there, looks really nice. There's no point in not using it. So I'm just gonna fold that back over, hit it with a wrap so that that's just gonna join the rest of the work. It's just gonna add to the fly itself. If that tip looks good, go ahead and grab it and use it. I'm gonna wrap a few times forward so my thread's a little bit out of the way. And now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start palmering this guy forward. Don't forget guys.
SOS.
I was just gonna say, SOS if you need it. SOS just means stop and take a beat. So Josh has an SOS. What if we're giving duckling feathers with no hope of hackling? You can still hackle it. I know you can because we've got, if you can do it with a soft hackle feather, you can do it with this. You're just not gonna get as many wraps out of it. So what I suggest, Josh, is this alternating we're gonna do from natural to wood duck. You're just gonna repeat the process. Natural wood duck, kind of open, spiraling till you get to close to that cone. It's a good question because some of the feathers in my kit too are a little smaller. If it takes a few more to get forward, there's no set number in this pattern of how many times you're gonna alternate it. It's really dependent on the size of the feathers that you have. So I'm just alternating back and forth between natural and the wood duck dyed mallard flank all the way forward. Good question. Let us know when you're ready to keep going and we'll keep rocking.
Scooter wondered if he's tired or you just look like
Wilma Flintstone.
I mean, I don't have a picture of Wilma on the screen.
Oh, the personas, they just keep going on.
I don't have a picture of Wilma on the screen.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how kind you guys are being or how my self-confidence is doing right now, but it does. It's actually really good for Wilma.
I know. What's worse that he keeps putting it together.
I know. It's great. Oh man, that is good. All right, Josh, are you ready?
Did you talk about hook sizes?
Yeah, so obviously, like this streamer size on this one, this is big. This is a size 4. So if
probably
you were
like a 3x long,
this is a 3x long streamer hook. If you were to go to like a 3x or sorry, a size 4 streamer that's like a 1x long, you wouldn't need to go as far up, but you're also not getting that length in the streamer itself. So it's a catch-22, material base versus hook size. I think this one is, it's maybe a little bit on the long side. Maybe a 2XL is a better length for this fly. But it just gives you more size to your streamer. It's not the end of the world. It's just you have to use more material to accomplish the same thing.
But that's also something to really talk about when it's confusing when people say, like, for me, if I were to order flies online, I do not like doing it because a size 14 has a lot of variables. A size 6 streamer has a lot of variables. There's a lot of ways that hooks can be tied.
Yeah.
So just like, so you can throw out a recipe for this fly and say, we're going to use a size 4, size 6, a size 8, or is it a size 4 2X, or is it like a B10S, like, which is a very short chain, wide hook gap, which is one of my favorite hooks to tie on. So there's a lot of variance with this stuff, whether you tie, your 6 inches of shank with all of this material, whether it's best tied on a shorter hook with less material, all do different things in the water.
100%.
And
Every hook design
yeah,
is
it's gonna look like dog poo for right now.
Yeah, it comes together. All right, looks like Josh is good to go. But it is a great thing to speak on, Dan. Is every hook is different, every design is different, and depending on the hook you use is going to definitely differentiate how your pattern turns out. Okay, let's continue wrapping. So I've got my wood duck color mallard flank secured here. I'm going to start palmering it forward. Again, trying to encourage as many of those feathers to go rearward as possible. But to be honest, we're not really worried about that because the more the fibers of this feather just stick out all over the place, it gives it a little more character and a little more spunk and a lot more movement in the water. So I've got that forward to where I basically ran out of material on the stem of this feather. I'm gonna come in here, thread wrap behind, thread wrap in front, and I'm gonna repeat that. Because on each of these feathers, this is a weak point. At any point, if I didn't secure those properly, those guys are just gonna come out or come unbound, and that obviously is not what I want to happen. So, but again, like I said last time, once I get that feather in, I'm gonna pull rearward on all those materials, and I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps back over top of the butt ends. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna kind of hold them in position. It's gonna force them back down the fly. So now I've gone natural wood duck, natural then wood duck. Now I'm gonna go back natural. I'm gonna pick a little smaller feather because I know I don't have a lot of space here, and I want to finish with the wood duck. So I'm gonna come in here with a natural color feather. I'm gonna go natural and one more time wood duck. So secure the tip after exposing it. This again looks like a nice tip, so I'm gonna fold it back and secure it with a wrap. So it's gonna get involved in here as well. Then I'm gonna take my thread wrap or my thread forward, and again, encourage those to go rearward. Even moisten your fingers helps too. And just start palmering it forward. And you see how as I go forward, I'm constantly pulling not just rearward, but up on the feather, trying to just encourage all of those fibers on the feather itself to not get trapped on top of each other. And this isn't really one that you can brush out because it just doesn't really work super well. So I've ran out of material again. I'm gonna lock that one off with a thread wrap behind, in front, thread wrap in front, behind and in front again. A couple times to make sure that's super secure in there. I'm gonna come in here, trim out that stem. Again, gonna pull rearward on all that material, wrap back over top of it slightly, really secure that down. And now I should have just enough space to go one more time with a natural colored wood duck. Or sorry, not natural. The wood duck color, not the natural one. Little bit yellow or brown. I'm gonna expose the tip. We're almost there, guys. It's gonna be the last one. Last feather I'm gonna need to use on here before I finish off with some dubbing. Expose the tip the best I can. Come in here, tie in just the very tip right behind that last feather. Again, I do like the tip on this one, so I'm gonna fold it over and incorporate it. Then I'm gonna take my thread wrap forward to right behind the cone, and I'm gonna finish off wrapping this last nice feather forward. Again, encourage and kind of try to bend those fibers back so they head rearward down the fly. You're constantly trying to reorient, pull apart, make the feather go where you want. This is not a normal feather for this type of movement. Often they're just tied in as a whole feather, so you kind of do got to do a little work on them to make them do what you want them to do. And I'm going to take that up to just behind the bead. Even if I'm already if I'm not ran out of material on here, I don't want to go any further forward. This is a big stem on this feather, so I'm going to do a couple wraps behind, couple wraps in front. Repeat that process again, behind and in front. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to trim out my tag end. This one, because it's up against the cone and we have dubbing going in here, try to get that stem trimmed fairly close into the hook shank, and then I'm going to try to drive some thread wraps over top of it to secure it. And the last little bit of space between the cone and that last and final feather is where I'm going to place a little bit more dubbing. So I'm going to go back to my orange dubbing. I'm going to make another little dubbing noodle, and I'm going to finish off this fly with a nice hot spot right behind the cone. Going to come in here, try to get this one as tight as possible, and that just means spinning it as tight as you can on that thread. We don't want it to be puffy looking or have a bunch of fiber from that dubbing sticking up off the thread. I just want this one to be tight because this is right behind the cone and I want to get some nice tight wraps before I whip finish this fly. I'm going to do a fairly decent size dubbing noodle because it is going to be a lot tighter than the last one when we went up the hook. I'm going to pull all those fibers rearward, start where I finished tying off that feather, and make some overlapping wraps moving forward up against the bead, come back in, and then finish with my thread right behind the cone. I'm going to tip that cone down a little bit so it really engulfs that dubbing. And from right here, guys, all we're going to do is whip finish this fly. I don't suggest on this specific pattern with this dubbing to add resin, because what that's going to do in this resin, especially this fine dubbing, it'll just soak in and it's going to change the appearance of the front end of the fly. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to do 3 or 4 turn whip finishes to really secure right behind this cone. Got my one in, tighten it. I'm going to go one more time with that whip finish tool. This would be a hard one to half hitch just because of the size of the cone. Once I got that good and tight, I know it's not going anywhere. I come in, trim off that tag end of the thread. And then I'm just gonna come in here and kind of pull at those feathers. Anything that might be trapped, I'm trying to pull it out. You can come in here with some type of brush, or what I really like to use is my whip finish tool because it's got that nice hook on it. If I see any fibers that are actually trapped in there, I'm just gonna come and pull them out, because it's normal for that to happen with these big feathers, that they might get trapped on top of each other, and I'm just gonna pick them out. Now, what you see, again, like we said, it will come together at the end of the fly. Everything now is pointed rearward, back and down the fly. You have a very nice profile, although in the water, this is probably gonna sleek back quite a bit, but even with some moisture added to it, when I pull it back like this, imagine stripping, and on the pause of the strip, it opens back up to that profile. You have all that barred mallard flank. It looks super realistic, like spots on fish or barring on a fish's body, like on a juvenile fish or trout. And honestly, I think this is one of the more sexy streamers we've tied.
It's not the, like, you got to take away the visual of, not saying it looks bad, but just that idea of like these feathers all coming together. It's kind of just like taking the which one was it? Like the Kate McLaren that everybody hated.
Yeah.
And we grew that, or the poacher, because the poacher has that hot spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of the world's biggest wet flies, where it's not hackle, but it's like hackle, and that's how it's going to dance in the water. The sparsity allowing for kind of when it goes through water to get those little air bubbles caught between the feathers and the hook shank, and just this pulsing sensation is going to be something magical. Whether your 6-year-old tied it or not, Josh, I don't worry about Instagram worthy flies. Trust me, as we've said before, sometimes or all the time, the unsexiest flies are the ones that work. That's why we call them guide flies.
Yeah, they're not pretty, but they catch more fish than anything else. I actually think that's pretty. I like it. I think it looks pretty.
Yeah, it actually looks. It's not against the tying. It's just about
in the process,
the eyes and the magical of all the things that we catch us as these streamers. It's like there's just different flow rates to marabou versus the other feathers in there, and like you said, on the quick tie, you're gonna see it just all the way from the marabou tie-in up to the cone.
No way's wrong. They're both good. It's just
we just want to show both ways. You're gonna run. The idea was that you're gonna run out of material if you tie it all the way from the marabou up, unless you had a shorter shanked hook.
Yeah.
But we're learning to tie flies. It's not about copying exactly what Tim did and saying this is it because Tim did it. It's like there's a lot of different ways to tie similar or same patterns, and that's what's fun about fly tying is if you think there's a right or a wrong, this isn't for you.
Nope.
This sport isn't for you.
Adaptability makes you a better tyer.
Huge. Well, we got Flyingo to play.
We do.
We've got to check out the baking cam, which first of all, we're going to kind of check that out at its finest.
It's really coming together.
Yeah, I think that's where we were last time, probably because I'm hungry. And it's 9 o'clock, and it's time for K-pop.
K-pop.
K-pop time. Here we go. It's officially K-pop time. Overtime is K-pop. I knew we were going to get ice cream.
But you got to remember, you got 4 minutes. That clock's off. Can't play K-pop for 4 minutes.
That clock is wrong. All right, it's not K-pop time, but it's definitely Black Stag Bakery.
At that. Filling. Oh man.
I know. Oh,
I gotta say that
Maggie
has like an incredible amount of patience. It's like a craft. Like
Yeah,
fly tying's a craft.
Look at it.
It's
why it matches. It marries well to what we're doing.
It does. It really does.
It looks kind of like a chocolate hazelnut Danish, if I were to
you really
guess.
Pulled that out of nowhere.
I know.
It's not even like you're glancing down at the finished product.
I feel like it's with a chocolate brioche, chocolate hazelnut pastry cream, cocoa streusel.
You're a knowledgeable baker.
And hazelnut praline. I can't be sure that all of those things are exactly it. Oh, well, now
wow.
I can be.
Now you can be. Look at it. Oh, geez, that looks
because
good.
I can see it all.
Oh, Maggie, you really outdid yourself.
We're about like we need a
weight loss program.
No, we need to try another beer.
Yeah, we do.
And we got to do Flyingo. Why don't we try this beer? Whatever. It's free. It's free stuff. We're gonna finish off. There it is. Look at that. That's that stretchy, doughy stuff. And that's the dollop of stuff on top. What I meant to say was that's the chocolate hazelnut Danish there. And that's the chocolate brioche, chocolate hazelnut, pastry, cream, cocoa streusel, and hazelnut praline. I just stretched my neck, but I can't. I never look at the camera when I say that. Oh, Maggie.
Oh, Maggie.
Oh, there it is. Final finished product. That is
a good looking product right there.
That's good magic. That's good magic. Well, we're going to try that.
Yes, we are.
But first, what we're going to do is we're going to check out what is in the Flyingo.
Go on. All right, so last week
the beers.
Somebody finally won last week. So
yeah,
the build-up of weeks is over. We're back to
rebuilding.
But we got some. Oh, I can't hold on to this stuff. We got some awesome prizes coming your way. So from one of our awesome sponsors at Wolf Creek Angler, we have a hat for either someone who really appreciates purple or that special lady in your life that you can hand that over to. We have, I think this was from last season, right? Like that we gave these away, these guys?
What?
The material dishes.
Oh, yeah.
These things, I mean, if you could see my desk right now, this is literally what I use. Every time I tie flies with you guys, it's a material dish, holds, you just literally open your kit and dump it in the thing. It's perfect. I love these things.
I got one here too.
He's got one too. He doesn't even use it for tying, but
they're the greatest.
Stone collector.
So we got that. Now, also, that's from us here at Fly Fishing Boat Helpers. And we also, from us, have a couple of awesome individual packeted.
From previous
Yeah,
seasons.
so these are just like your Season 7 kit if you're holding one. These ones are some of the Goldens from past seasons. All you got to do to find the quick tie on these is scan that QR code, takes you directly to me tying these flies, and you can follow along. So we got a couple packages here. This one is the Lefty's Deceiver, and we also have Dave's Hopper. This was a challenging fly, but it was also a fun one.
Yeah.
A kind of an original style deer hair hopper. So we got those two coming at you. We also, from us here at FFBR.
Look at this.
Oh, this is a good box.
This is good.
Look at that. There may be some flies in there that
18,
are the best ever.
24,
we won't say which
24,
ones.
2 dozen nymphs. Well, actually, those are tungsten beadhead jig nymphs at a premium price of $5 a fly. We got some foam. We got some worms and a fly box.
And a fly box. And there is some Royal
price.
Coachmans in there and some parachute Adams.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Half a dozen of each
and
of those
dry
two.
flies. Wow.
Great. And then from our wonderful friends at Wolf Creek Angler, and because this was passed on from, it was
Trevis,
He knew he wouldn't be able to use this, but what this is a free drift boat rental down at Wolf Creek Angler on the Missouri, out of Wolf Creek, Montana. If you're heading down there and you win this is I don't think you realize how awesome this is, but this is a drift boat that you get to take out for free and get to use on the water for a day.
That's super. And then when you go to Wolf Creek Anglers, they're going to tell you they're going to say, get some of these pink flies. That's what works down there.
Pill popper.
And Ray Charles. And so you're going to load up on that. They're going to tell you where to go, what's fishing. They're going to fill you in. They also shuttle you down there. So the shuttle's not included in the drift boat rental, but that's fine because it's the cheapest shuttles on the Missouri River.
But wait.
There's more.
There is more. So also from here, us at FFBR, we have these pro nippers. If you've never had a pair of these things, you definitely want a pair. These are super awesome. Interchangeable blades if they get dull.
Yep.
And maybe the best part of all, so that you can actually take these prizes home.
Yeah. The next time you are free from the Captain Clutch sticker.
And if you already have one of these and you win, pass this on to someone you care about so they also can win the next Flyingo.
Flyingo. It's a bingo. It's a Flyingo. It is literally a free game. Everybody's welcome to play. And if you win, you just win.
Yeah, you win.
You got to go see the wizard and visit and stuff.
Ooh, that's dark.
Deep dark beer here. Here we go. We're going to get this quick.
Look at the color of this thing.
I think it's K-pop time, guys.
It is now.
Oh, yeah.
It smells.
Your microphone's on.
Are we there?
He's
Am I
been
here?
dabbing that all night. Just keep doing it.
Am I around?
We'll put them back in the cage.
This is the best one of the night.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's good.
Right?
That's good dark. I like that.
That's local.
Is it local? Sure it is. I don't have the information up there that I memorized, but if I did, I would tell you all about it.
It always sucks when you don't have the information up there.
Beer Friday! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
Well, now that you can see it up there from our friends at Annex Ale Project. This is coming out of Calgary, Alberta. Oh, it won't focus. Give it to me, it'll focus.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that this is Taco Mexican Night themed, but ooh, look at this thing.
It's in-house.
We gotta erase those beer scores.
Yeah, this is gonna get better.
Yeah, I think so.
And our chat board froze up, I noticed.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Why did it do that?
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay. So we're going to enjoy a little bit of this tasty bakery products, but let's talk a little bit about this beer
I think
first.
it's going to go well with that.
I think so, too.
We're just going to break bread.
Yeah. This is a 10% or two with an IBU of
this
30.
Was the 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe the other one really was what it was.
Maybe. It's a deep, dark, mysterious imperial stout that pushes the limits of richness and complexity. Notes of dark chocolate, I definitely tasted that, espresso, roasted malt, and subtle vanilla make this a big, bold beer that sips more like a dessert than a drink. Pairs well with dark chocolate, slow smoked meats, and the regret of tying size 22 midges for 3 hours straight.
I thought I would add these pairs well with.
I like that. That's been actually the best part of this so far. Have you tried it?
So take a piece. We're gonna eat and greet.
Eat and greet. Okay, give me a second here.
We're gonna share this one so that I don't waste the other 17 that are in there.
No, you need to save those for tomorrow. It's a special day tomorrow.
Tim can take them.
These
home.
don't break well. My portion is larger than a third.
It's okay.
Oh, guys, this looks so good. Just so you can get like a little cutout view. This is like,
It's like the diets, right? So it's
Ray
a diet
Ron,
bite.
Ray Ron.
Let's try this.
Oh man.
That is something.
Chocolate hazelnut Danish.
How did she get the dough so fluffy?
Isn't that wild? Like
everything she makes is like
anything
perfect.
you've had before. I don't care who you are. Like there's specialty, and then there's this,
That could make the boat lunchbox.
right?
Right.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? 2 of these as your whoopie pie tops the bottom. How good would that be? How good is it already?
Oh, let's try it with the beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the beer too. Bite
Try it
in the
with.
beer.
I think we were onto something.
That's it right there.
Oh, that is it.
Yeah.
I'll be
That's
back.
the
Wow.
combo. And that's why we saved the stout for last.
You
Wow.
can call me a matchmaker.
You are.
You just knew. You
Let's
just knew.
just get busy with some midges, and this will be even better.
Oh man, let's play some. My mouth is dancing.
Maggie, apple pie is number one. Ham pie is because you could never outdo that, in my opinion. But this is the closest second.
And with this beer,
Wow.
like who would have thought drinking beer and
dessert.
But the beer's almost dessert.
but like the complementation of magic.
Black Stag Maggie gets better and better every single week.
I know.
That's one of the reasons you need to be on the couch
You can be on the couch. You just gotta let us know.
before today.
Tyler. Speaking of couch, we've got a visitor for the couch.
Do we?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, Gordy's in the house.
yeah.
All right, burn
Hi.
him. Burn him.
Come on,
All right,
dude.
we're gonna play some Flyingo.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Now, guys, if you haven't played Flyingo yet, not too complicated. One line wins. It doesn't matter where the direction is, angle, up, down, sideways, whatever. You can see the calls coming out there. We got the first 4 calls. If you don't have your Flyingo card already, just go to that website you see there, download your card, super easy. It takes an email. After that, if you do get a full line any direction, you need to do a couple things. Number 1, you need to say which call it was on. Say bingo first, what call it was on, and then you need to put your card ID in the comments. And if you can do that all in one line, that's the easiest thing for us. And then you win. And sometimes there's a tie, sometimes there's not. If there's a tie, we have a tiebreaker. It's really easy. Really easy. I better get my card out. I'm gonna win one day here.
Card time.
Oh man, that is like, it's something you gotta try because it's
That combo is wild. Like, that's honestly one of the better things.
I didn't plan it. It was just a happy accident. Guys, I look like Bob Ross. That was a happy accident. Nobody got my joke. You guys are too busy playing. All right, we got 4 calls. We forgot to rank the last beer, but definitely a 4
It's a 4 for me. Yeah, all day.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, it's up there. It's 4, too.
Nice.
4 across the boards.
As the night goes on, I love that our balloons are falling off the wall.
You got a hockey tail.
I got a hockey tail. It's a little. It's like it's an
boat
Asian
tail.
fusion.
Looks like my party is still up here.
Yours are still going. Yeah.
All right,
Losing
if you
decorations.
ever want to donate and to the costume nights, just let me know.
Yeah, if you got a tickle trunk at home, just send us some costumes. We'll wear them.
Yeah. All right. Looks like nobody's won. Next call. The Marabou Clouser, which is going to be in a couple weeks. The Poacher, the Gasolina Perdica. The Egg Sucking Leech and the Cape McLaren Wet Fly have all been tied.
Egg sucking leech.
Oh, sometimes I like keeping Flyingo till the end.
I kind of like it too. It's like
It's just a great way to finish the evening. I feel rushed in between. I don't always feel rushed.
without any cause.
Man, if you guys didn't get those, I think I got those tomorrow. I can't remember.
You know what the disappointing thing for me is?
But you didn't do it.
I leave on Saturday morning. So
That
I
is a
order
good point.
bakering. I order all this baking and I can't eat it.
Well, you could have given it to friends.
I know, but
like me.
you already ordered.
Yep.
Man. I should got a couple cans of that. I'm not a dark beer guy, but that is fantastic.
That is great. That is just
You could easily do 2 with that.
Oh yeah.
2 desserts. All right, next call. We don't have a winner yet.
Cinnamon toast
3
stand.
for 3.
Oh,
then call
look at
4
this
or 5.
here.
Put me right.
Here, bro.
Oh, top shelf hopper. Top shelf. He just needs a couple more. Interestingly enough, that fly box alone is... How many flies are in there? 1, 2...
Those
3,
are
4,
great
5.
flies tonight, by the way.
Yeah,
Like
great
river,
ties.
Stillwater.
I like
Got you
that
covered
combo.
on like the midge has got you, and then same with the bait fish pattern.
Why don't I have
Yeah.
you up here?
So there's 4.5 dozen flies in here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of flies. Nobody's won yet. Come on.
It's got Aaron right there.
I know it's feeling like blackout tonight.
It ain't
Like
gonna
it.
be ever blackout again.
No, no.
Oh, that was a
That was
bad
a long.
choice.
That's almost as long as the races in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, so that was the worst. It was like an hour of Flyingo.
Oh. That was a regretful time, guys. Free Flyingo, Fishpond Flyingo.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
All right, number 7. Usually somebody just bought a bingo card, so that's I didn't mean to buy.
Oh.
Zach, welcome to the game. We'll let you get caught up. It doesn't cost. It's free.
All we need is a half pint.
Sometimes it costs your soul, but Tim,
Come
don't
on,
show
baby.
them on your card. They're going to use it.
They can't. It was quick enough.
Screenshot that, folks.
If we want to talk about pairings right here, I'm just saying.
Oh,
this,
you're going for a... Oh, look at you.
That's it right there.
Look at you, Kevin McCulkey's
I'm just
mom.
saying that.
Stout in a pill. Stout in a
Oh,
pillow.
look at that, Josh.
Oh, Josh.
In all of his misery
bro.
tonight. In
I was
all
like-
of his misery.
It's the closest I've ever been.
Look at him. Fine-tuned. Call 7, card 110.
Yeah, and he's got it down pat. Well done.
Okay, gotta see.
One thing to mention is if you did get through tonight's flies, hopefully you've also got through all the others in these 2 categories. So you get your Streamer Supreme and your Nymph Master badges. Only
Did
way to
that
get
wrap
'em.
up milestones already tonight?
Look at that. Look
Hasn't
at
yet.
that.
Hasn't yet.
Look at
Oh,
that.
okay.
Josh did it.
Oh, he did it.
Oh,
Wait, what? What is that? I haven't seen that before.
that was just me. It disappeared. I made it disappear. Anyways, Josh
Well
did
done,
win.
Josh.
Going to the
And,
doors.
Josh, you have a Captain Clutch? Please tell me. I can look it up, but I'd rather have you admit to the defeat you're about to experience.
This is about honesty and integrity.
Remember the horrible. Actually, what I should do is Josh is on. Okay, Josh says I'm actually on the YouTube here, so I can. We don't have that last situation where the answers weren't coming in.
Yes.
All right, yeah, got a call. There we go. Josh does have the Captain Clutch. Is this the second time in a row? Look at that, he does. I just looked him
He
up.
does?
Order number
Oh,
194241095. Josh Tarchuk
Well done.
takes the wizard down.
Well
with
done,
an
buddy.
absolute clutch move. Worth it. Worth the $50 for the Captain Clutch, folks. You're not going to get to see the wizard again because everyone is catching on to it.
I like it.
Keeping the show short and sweet.
And never short.
It's never short,
Always
but
sweet.
it's always sweet.
Man,
Well,
now
Josh.
you got to travel to Montana.
No, he's in Banff.
I know, but he gets to.
Oh, that's right. He gets to. And he's an
Breezer.
avid drift boat guy, so he knows that. Wow.
There you go, Josh.
That's
What a
fantastic.
package. What a
You know what,
package.
guys? Let's give him a round of fireworks for
I
Little
like it.
clickies.
clicks and fireworks.
Well done.
We've got
Nice
a
work,
Captain
Josh.
Clutch bangarang. Well done.
That's
we
a
got a
veteran.
winner. I love winners.
It's like
We used to have a
the best.
saying back in hockey. We were like, "What do winners do?"
They win.
No, but I can't say it on the show. So, that's how she goes. Sometimes she goes, and
We
sometimes
don't even get to see the doors tonight.
That's not a bad thing.
Sometimes
No, I know.
she goes. and
The
sometimes
wizard's
she
been tough on people.
Sometimes she goes. I can't think of what else to say, but
No. The whole Wizards family has been tough on people this year.
There we go.
yeah,
Fiesta
This is
time,
the
Josh.
Super Bowl halftime. Away
Whoops.
she goes. You know how it is by the way it is.
Yeah, because it's the way it
It's
is.
the way it is.
Yeah.
And this is the way the show always ends, with us leaving you guys with something pretty awesome called wins. What is it called, Tim?
What is important now?
What is important now? That's
it's an interesting statement in itself because I think we always think that it's going to be a positive thing, but it's not. And that's what this group is about. It's about the support of each other, and whether that win is, a positive thing or something you're struggling with. That's what we're here for. And we ask that you share your win in the comments. All three of us will go through our wins for the week. And I think it's a great reflective tool to just almost prepare yourself for Thursdays and be aware of what's coming throughout your week and what is a win. Doesn't have to be huge.
First, I gave some homework out last week.
Did you?
I said, what is in your hand that you're going to bless your people with throughout the week? So feel free to share that here, because I can't wait to share a win with you guys.
Yeah.
But I don't go first. That's Aaron.
That's Aaron today.
Well, I don't know. We might have the same win, but
we're winners.
Great win, and it happened last night. And I want to thank you actually for the personal invite.
You can thank Tim for bailing.
Yeah,
work isn't bailing, bro.
Whatever. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah. So Dana and I. And there was other people at the event, and we got to experience Mr. Dr. Jordan Peterson speech last night. And it was kind of touching just on the concept that he wanted that talk to be about that night. And that concept was life. Sacrifice in life.
Yeah.
And, and just the way he worked through the process and tied everything all in together, it really made you think about your focus on where you want to go, your aim on the direction that you need to go with everything in life, and the sacrifices that come along with it, and making sure that those are the most worthy sacrifices to reach your end game and stuff like that. And it was very interesting. It was very introspective on how we conduct our daily activities, our weekly, monthly, yearly goals, and just put everything in kind of in a big picture on what we go through to achieve what we want to achieve. And there was lots to take from it.
Lots to digest.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
So all I have to say is, from that, embrace your sacrifices. I know they're tough, but in the end, if what you're trying to achieve is, got a high value, it's virtuous, it's for the good, you will be rewarded in the end.
Yeah.
So that's the win.
It's a great win.
Beautiful. Timothy.
All right. Well, my win for this week, it's kind of, it's going to sound positive, but to me, it has a little bit of a negative, but also a positive at the end of it. So this is complicated. But
you're a Twizzler.
It's a Twizzler. So like we talked about earlier in the show, I'm going to be bowing out from you guys for a couple weeks, getting to go do an awesome trip with my family. And I'm very grateful to be able to do that. But what I'm more grateful for, even though it's sad for me to leave and pass the reins over to Mr. Aaron for a couple weeks, what I want to say is there would have been a time in the last 7 years where I wouldn't have been able to do that because I don't have people like you. So it's a thank you. It's stepping up and stepping in to keep providing for the people so that I can go spend some time with my family. And I love you, man. I trust you. You're in good hands, all you people. And you people. It's a thank you because it's, I don't feel at times in the past when something like that would happen, it was always like,
how's it going to go?
What's going to happen? And can I leave? Because it's our baby, It's spent a lot of years and a lot of hours and it's like getting to work with you today and show you some stuff for your flies in the next couple of weeks. It's like I have no no reservations about it, and that speaks a lot to you. So thank you.
Well,
That's my win.
the opportunity was appreciated last year when I got to come in for a couple of nights, or a couple of weeks, I should say. And I appreciate the opportunity again for this, and I can't wait to see your amazing trip and, you know, you experiencing life on that other side of the world. That makes me happy too. So,
well, thank you.
It makes, you know, it's awesome to
That's
be a
what
part of
family
this.
is, man.
Yeah, buddy. Makes me happy you
Camaraderie and
wore
everything.
long shorts today.
I know. I can pull them up a little
No
tighter,
bubblegum
you know,
soup
you know?
tonight.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
I still don't know what Triesta means.
I don't know. It's a Triesta, didn't you know?
Oh yeah, the three of us. That's what I meant. It's a fiesta for three people called a Triesta. Scooter Tabor's still here. I don't know if I'm supposed to read this out loud, but I don't think you have a choice because I have the microphone. So we've talked about it a lot that you guys are often the win, the TNL fam. A lot of people put that in here constantly. And we kind of say it without a lot of context or a lot of backstory, or kind of, you know, maybe can sound aloof sometimes. But I just want to kind of share with you guys my win for the week. Huge win. And just about what and who you guys are that makes the TNL fam. I hope Scooter didn't go to bed. But anyways, he can rewatch this. So anyways, I got a package the other day, had to go to the post office to pick it up. And I didn't know, I never know where they're from. But anyways, I picked it up and it was just a little box. And I tore into this box. It took a lot of effort to get into the box for how it was wrapped. But inside this box was a note and some recycled fly line. And I'm saying that at its minimalist level because I'll explain what it means. So I was like, well, what is this? So I open up the letter, and this is the letter. And so I just want to, oh, he's here. Yeah. Scooter, I love you, man. And I'm going to read this letter to everybody. So the letter goes like this. Dana, I just wanted to put this together for you after you shared what you and your family are going through right now. I wish there was more that I could do to be able to help. For me, I've always heard of people getting cancer, but it didn't really strike me or hit home until I got the news a couple years ago that my father had cancer. When we got the news, it was a pretty tough pill to swallow because he's always been there for me through thick and thin. He was the one that introduced me into fly fishing and fly tying. And when we got the news, the only thing I could think of was that I was going to lose my fishing buddy. The fishing would never be the same again. But then I looked back at life and realized how he taught me to live, how to be strong and stand up for myself. Then I also found a good refuge in Thursday Night Live. A group of people that I've never met before. It's strange. A group of people that you can call brothers, and they're all around good people. They don't judge you, and they always listen to your wins, and they just cheer alongside you. That's so hard to find in today's time. And when we got the news on my dad, my girlfriend got all of us in our close family these bracelets, these recycled fly lines. They were all the color that represents prostate cancer. We wore them to remind us that we were in this together and that none of us were alone. I thought I would pass this on to you and your family as well. I put 6 of them in there for your family, your mom, and whoever you want to give them to. Just a reminder that you're not alone. Like I said, I wish there was more that I could do. And if there is anything else in this world that I can do, let me know. I would love to do it. Just know that you and your mom and your family are in my thoughts and prayers through this difficult time. If there's anything I can do, please reach out. Hopefully one day soon, I can get up there to actually meet you and Tim. Until then, Keep up the outstanding work on TNL. Here's my number if you ever need to reach out. I may not have all the answers, but I'm usually here for a good laugh or two. Scooter Tabor. And these recycled
Scoots.
fly lines are just that. And so yeah, I just like, to be honest, I just read that in the car and I was like, holy geez. And I sent a picture to Tim and I was just like, this is it. This is the people. This is TNL. This is... So I sent it to my mom, the letter, the picture of the letter. And I met with her last night and I was like, yeah, I don't really know how she's going to take to this. I don't know, right? She's processing a lot right now. And so I gave her it. I sat her down and I just walked her through it. And she texted me this morning. She's like, how many more of those can you get? I want more people to wear them. And I was like, oh, you you thought it was, you liked it or whatever. So I just want to say that Scooter, like that's, yeah, it's good people.
It's the people.
It's great people. And it's not a little thing. I want to say it's just a little thing, but it's a huge thing. And the fact that you took the time to do that, yeah, you don't know what it means. And I don't really have the words to tell you other than thank you. So thank you.
It's incredible.
Well, I know your mom appreciated it because I think I overheard her last night just talk about. I overheard her say something about Thursday Night Live, and this is.
And she's trying to explain to those other people.
These people that I don't even know are sending me stuff.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was funny. She's
just
trying to explain to them, like, random people, like, what is it? What is it? She's like, so there's this TNL? And I'm like, they're not going to.
They don't know what that
understand
means.
TNL.
It's just 3 letters.
Yeah.
But like the power of prayer just comes from everywhere.
Yeah.
Which, and some people don't even know
It's
where it's coming from.
OQP.
It
It
is.
is OQP, only quality people.
Yeah.
Threesta, OQP.
I looked it up. It just means, it doesn't translate well to English, but it means party times 3.
Like a 3 times party.
We're going to party 3 times.
Well, we did 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Heck
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Amazing
Well,
win. Great wins.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
And all right, let's head back.
Let's get
and
to your
find
guys'
Didn't
wins.
mention the Super Bowl. I'm trying to forget it happened. Scooters, Kansas City Chiefs fan. That was a
That was
rotten
tough.
game.
Rotten.
All right, I think we're starting with Sean.
All right.
win is,
Sean's win.
Go ahead.
Well, we usually know how the format goes, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
normal.
start. You start.
So we just dive right in.
Dig it.
Not sure if everyone's got this, but I had 2 pre-tie midges in the package tonight. That is a
bonus.
huge win.
That's a win.
There you go.
Well, sometimes you're short material and sometimes you get extra. Often though, we're not, like, nobody mentions the 50 pounds of dubbing that they got. It's
the whole pack of dubbing.
It's the one piece of hackle that is on somebody's leg somewhere.
Yeah.
Not
Fell
in their
out.
package.
Fly Trout provided dubbing for everyone tonight.
All right.
Yes.
Gary Durfee. Win saw the collarbone repair surgeon on Tuesday and all looks great. Physical therapy ramps up and Allie's all is looking up.
Nice.
Allie's looking up. All is looking up.
All is looking up.
All is looking
A
up.
period
Yeah.
or an apostrophe or sometimes a word. Beautiful.
Oh,
Good
that's
to hear.
Trevor, my win was meeting up with some friends that we met this past summer. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mr. Sunias was in the house.
Yeah,
What's
good
up,
to see
Was in the
Suni.
house.
That's awesome.
The mayor.
Mayor's son.
Son.
Mayor's son. Win for the week is finally getting my new knife for work and even got the wife a new chef knife for the house. Ooh.
I love to say chef knife.
New steel in the house.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Butcher. Tamara. Happy to move. We should just read them like that, and people are going to think that their computers are screwed up.
Yeah.
Read,
Happy to be Bobby.
read that 10% stouty.
Happy to be moving into the next steps of rehab for my daughter's knee injury. She started electroacupuncture this week. She's also started back in the gym on light duty. So looks like we will both be competing at the next powerlifting meet this summer. Heck yeah.
Trevis. I lost a long-time fellow officer this week to natural causes. It was unexpected. Life is short. Let those you know and love what they mean to you.
Yeah.
The TNL quote, "Love people catch fish," is not just a saying. My win is that this show and family help heal and bring joy to others.
That's
and me.
That's a lot of good. That's like a lot of sharing this week, Trev.
Sorry to hear that, though, buddy. That is hard. That's what it's about.
Gary Dufresne, we got saw the collarbone repair.
That's a repeat.
All right, there we go.
He just really wanted us to know.
Yeah. Jill, win this week was lunch with my mom, sister, and niece.
Awesome.
That's family time is always the best.
Jill, you're healing up good, I hope. Roger, my win, had a good checkup at the cardiologist today. An issue I had been having has cleared up through exercise and diet changes. And spring is in the air and NASCAR is running at Daytona.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mr. Tebow, my win, had a great couple of days teaching and helping some younger folk with their careers in the arenas. Fills my cup and theirs, I hope. Got my passport and the wife and I booked our trip to Rome in May. So excited. Kids are challenging in a great way and little man is doing awesome with kindergarten. Everyone's happy and healthy. OQP. That sounds like a trip. That's awesome.
Nice.
Josh, win for the week. It's been an especially tough week, taking some personal hits. Had me second guessing some things, realizing that we're not always in the driver's seat and our path is not always.
Keep going.
Yeah, just hang in there.
No, there's
Keep
more.
going.
Oh, our decision. My family is extremely supportive and was good to have priorities straightened and then get to look forward to another trip to Craig, but this time won't need to burn.
Burn. Has he got more?
Trailer bearings.
Trailer bearings.
Thanks, guys. Love TNL fam at Trofitter.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, Josh.
Love you, Josh. Funny. It's a funny bugger, that guy.
Gotta meet up. You don't live that far away.
I know. I might be out going to Banff next week. Kids have week off of school. I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. Click, Scooter. Great win. Round of clicks. Jason. Guess it's me.
It's you.
I got 2 wins this week. Having a couple of really good buddies that I really feel like I can call friends. People who actually check in and can check in with as well. It's a breath of fresh air. My other one would be getting asked to be on a podcast this week. It was a pretty cool experience and cool to be able to tell my story. Awesome.
Nice.
Super
Wicked,
cool.
Jason. Nice.
This could have been a couch guy.
What's up, Tyler? My family's health. Thankful for this, especially after finding out that a lady whose son I coached has passed from cancer today.
Oh, jeez.
Every day is a gift. That's 4 powerful words.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Um,
Mr. Augustin. My win this week, the TNL family. Went to the NWTF in Nashville today. Met a couple of guys from Cloud9 Outfitters I got to fish last week with. I can use prayers. I have been struggling. I'll be okay. Dana, you and your family are in my prayers too. Thanks, Scooter, for what you did. It has lifted me up too. Bless you all. Love people catch fish.
Is that the fun thing about just blessing other people?
I know.
It's the ripple. It's contagious.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
Ritzy.
Ritzko, my wife has made a big change with her employment or career change situation and decided to quit her job. The job was never a good fit for her, and now we can start looking for something more fulfilling. And he also got a double Midge kit.
Nice.
You guys just be grateful. You got a lot of dubbing too.
Scooter, my win of the week is the Chiefs won the coin toss because that was all they won Sunday night.
That was a rough one.
Tough one, buddy.
Tough.
the hillbilly. Win this week was Saturday. I cooked a brisket and had a great night with some awesome friends and family. Also looking forward to heading out tomorrow for the long weekend ice fishing with Eli and some good buddies. Going to be cold but fun. Also, as always, Thursdays hanging out with you all. OQP, LPCF. Yes. Have fun on the ice there, Hilly.
Zach. Win this week is finally becoming a flight instructor. That's pretty
huge.
awesome.
That's awesome. Mr. Sather, Joel, good night, everyone. My win was winding down a very long day with TNL. Good way to relax and have a couple laughs. Thanks, guys.
Kenny. Win for the week. Ellis got called up to play on Team 1 this weekend. Hard work paying off. Second win, hearing Scooter's letter to Dana. The family runs tight here. OQP. It sure does, my friend.
Absolutely does.
Stuff that gives the goosebumps.
Yep.
Mr. Cole. My wife, my boy, my dog, and the TNL fam. Can't wait to order some bacon tomorrow. And if you guys want some bacon, we are doing bacon for a fundraiser. Hit me up. I have a link, and it's just a great price. Bacon.
Yeah, it is.
If you need bacon, let me know. Would love to help you out. Super awesome. Want to touch on more what Cole said is like often people can say to themselves, I don't know what my win is. And my wife, my boy, my dog, and the TNL fam. That's it. It wasn't an event, or it wasn't, bing bang boom. It was actually the biggest bing bang boom, which is your wife, your boy, your dog, and the TNL fam. And you could say that every single week for the next 5,000 weeks, you will be the happiest person on the planet. It's gratitude.
Yeah. I think sometimes you just got to recognize that stuff that you're overlooking, because it's
100%.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Infamous NAC. Do we know what that is? I always ask this, but I don't know what it is.
I did.
Anyways.
People jump around their usernames all the time.
We can't find them, but we love you whoever you are. Anyways, my win is my life's greatest treasure. My family is my life's greatest treasure. My coworkers that I work with.
Beautiful.
You guys, that makes Thursday special for all of us.
Good.
Ditto.
Terry.
Mr. Sather, win is not shoveling snow or wearing mitts. And super glad to be able to catch. Oh, just move the mouse there one second.
Catch the show tonight.
Catch the show tonight. There we go.
Important to note that I'm packaging up a punch in the dick to Terry Sather, sending it off to Mexico for it's a dick punch to just open it up and it gets it good.
It's like a can of whoop ass. You just don't want to open it. You never know.
you just make sure you're sitting down.
That's great.
Nice, Brennan. My win is tying along with the Half Pint Midge. This newbie is getting better. Loving TNL. He's doing
wicked,
great.
Brennan.
He's doing
so
great.
Happy to have you part of this group.
Yeah.
It's wicked. Craig, Mr. Jones, win just this tonight. Thanks, Scooter, for bringing us all back to the important things and the people who do things just because they feel it is the right thing to do. Have a good weekend and family day with the loved ones.
Yeah, it's family day on Monday.
It's just so true.
Valentine's Day, guys. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
I know.
Do you do stuff for Valentine's Day? That's a weird situation because I think to have a relationship where every day is the day you want to just go do stuff for somebody to be, I don't know. I'm not against Hallmark holidays. I'm not against Valentine's Day. I just think
it's important to remember it every day, not just one day.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like it's Valentine's Day. Terry can't wait for the dick punch.
He's a weird guy. He likes that stuff.
Are we gonna send him a 3-esta dick punch?
boom, 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 boom. Party times 3.
Yeah, we'll put a delay on him just so he thinks it's over.
You know why? He's like, I don't. I really don't.
I don't. Poof again.
Who's coming out for the film festival? Who are we gonna see there? That's not too far off now.
No, it's
we're gonna start talking about it.
4 weeks. Yeah, we're gonna start pumping.
Exactly a month.
I have 4,
or just
March
over a month.
22nd.
Yeah, just over.
So, and I talked to Scotty at Trax for the after party, and he's like, "Heck yeah!" And then he said, "Whatever Maggie's making for us on Thursday. He's going to buy a bunch and have it for sale for desserts and stuff at Tracks on Saturday.
So everybody can try.
So you guys can all try it. And maybe he gets this beer in and you do this combo. Whatever.
That's a special beer.
Oh,
you should probably read that one.
Dana, that's yours. You
guys can't find my mouse.
There it is.
You got J9s.
My win this week is signing my contract and officially working with the Calgary Stampede management team this summer. All glory.
That is huge.
To God.
What a win.
That is a huge win.
Huge win.
This is one of my favorite songs. And I know it's a
Mr. Struts.
church song, but it's how
My
we're gonna,
win.
It's how we're going to end here. Oh, Strother Brothers.
Struthers just came in. My win. Reconnected with some good friends after a few years. It was like time had passed. It's amazing how that happens. In catching up, learned they are getting into fly fishing. We have made a pact to stay connected and spend some time on the water together this upcoming season. Can't wait. That's awesome, man.
That's wicked.
All right, going to throw you guys on the spot. You
Here we
don't
go.
have time to think about it.
Okay.
What's one thing you just really love about Trish?
One thing I love about Trish,
Valentine's Day.
that's easy. For me, although it's a frustrating thing at times, she's.
You caveat that.
I have to because it can be, but biggest thing I love about her is that she is the most determined human I've ever met. She will fight through any challenge to achieve her goals, and pretty much nothing, including any injury in the world, will stand in the way of her to persevere. And I think it's a great quality to try to replicate.
Beautiful. Aaron, let's talk Kate.
The biggest thing is probably the just the feminine energy that she exudes on a daily basis, and she's just this nice, calm, loving human being, and she just brings me peace.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. Dana,
My turn?
your turn.
Janine.
She's in here too, so you better.
I know. That's kind of why I did this. I would say Janine is home. You know, it kind of reminds me of she reminds me a lot of my mom, which I love my mom to death. And I just feel like every time I came home, my mom was my mom. So like, I just remember like growing up on the outdoor rink and coming in late at night and you're freezing cold. And mom would have like a heating blanket or something to like warm you up. And she had hot chocolate and she'd make toast in the oven. So we'd have like 40 pieces of toast done at once. And I just think of those like those moments of everybody loves going home.
Yeah.
And I just think that's just Janine for me, is like, she's just so home. She's home for me.
I like that.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
She's my toast and hot chocolate. She's my warm, heated blanket on a cold night. She's my hot bubble bath after.
You gotta write this stuff down.
After a few AGDs and a couple upside down sour pineapple things.
You know what's amazing is like when there's people in your life and when your work schedule is extreme as it is and can be, and they just support your venture.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to feel
And
guilty
that's-
about it, right?
They're like, go after it, do it.
When
right?
I think
'Cause
in our
and that's-
industry, for all three of us, it's like we have to have extremely supportive partners to do what we do. We have to disappear for a few months at a time, and they love us through it, and that says a lot. They take care of our families and take care of all of it for us. That's like
100%.
Beautiful.
I just want to answer Trevis' question up there. Any word on the fireman job? Praying you get in, my friend. Continue praying. I appreciate that. At this point, everything is done. I have passed everything I can, and it is in the hands of those people.
He even passed my interview.
Yeah, he had to give a support thing. But it's it's not in my hands anymore. It's off to a selection committee. So I do appreciate the thoughts and prayers.
It actually was never in your hands, just so you remember that.
That is a bloody fact. Yeah. Very true.
Season 7, episode 7.
We'll never have another
The
one.
Half Pint Midge and the Half Pint Streamer. Love it or hate it, duckling feathers or not.
Yeah.
The struggle might be real. For everybody who got double midges, we just love you that much more.
They're pretty small.
We do make mistakes quite often, so
We're human.
that's never going to change.
Yeah.
Just be lucky you got 7 in the box now.
But the ability to own it is kind of a key to succeed in
Humility to
life.
live with. Yeah.
We can't stay here forever. We do have to bring this to a close. We got to close the curtain and say goodnight because Tim's off to New Zealand. Aaron's off to study Tim's quick ties to be a performer for you guys for the next couple of weeks.
It's going to crush it.
I will.
Season 7 episode.
I will
8
do
and
my
9.
best to.
That's all. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Because
And,
as
like,
soon as
fall
you realize
apart
that none of us
or-
are perfect.
They're always big shoes to fill going into that seat, but it's always a fun night doing it.
Yeah,
And
nobody cares. Like it
Yeah.
is what it is. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
they turn out in the end somehow or another.
Somehow, or we
Either
try,
that or
or
you
we
got-
try it again,
Yeah,
and
or-
we stay here till 10 o'clock.
There's
Nobody
there's
cares.
always a quick tie, and there's always a one that's already been done already.
Yeah. Mike Wheeler, seems to be a new name. Answer your question. Is this a normal thing?
To what? To the show? No.
Every Thursday.
Every
It's his
Thursday.
first-
it's a
we
normal-
got we got a first guy here every single Thursday at 7 p.m. We're here. We tie flies. Tonight we tied a couple patterns. Every single Thursday we tie flies. We do some beer reviews. We have a lot of fun. And
What were we this year? 13 weeks?
13
13
episodes.
weeks.
13 weeks.
yeah.
26 patterns.
I highly suggest some sort of like safety harness. The show gets a little crazy at
Sometimes.
times. But we would love to have you back, Mike, for next Thursday. What
Cool
are
to
what
you,
are we
Mike.
tying for next Thursday?
Yeah, we
The
got.
mob hopper and the mob
Mob
scalping.
scalping.
Yeah.
So,
I like
two-
the
two
themes.
flies.
The
Yeah.
mops, the mops,
do.
and the half
Yeah.
pints. And
We got Mike back.
And the mop hopper is kind of counterintuitive, but we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, and that's what's awesome because fireworks from Mr. Wheeler.
Yes.
Round of clicks. We love that you're here, and we would love to have you back.
yeah.
And don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Don't be a stranger. And don't judge if things get a little weird because sometimes they do.
Oh, no, they always do. Let's be for real.
Yeah. You can go back and watch last week's episode.
It was real weird.
It got funny. But yeah, it's time for us to go. And much love for all of you guys. Have a blessed week. Remember, we're blessed to be a blessing. And that's an honor. So,
It is that.
Night to all.
yeah.
Love people
Well,
catch fish.
We'll see you next Thursday. We don't know what's planned. We'll decide that at 6:55 next Thursday. Love you guys. Reach out if you need anything. Same goes with everybody in here. Everybody's here for everybody. So
Yeah. See you in a couple weeks.
peace. I
Peace.
hate leaving. It's
It's,
just
it's
I
awkward.
know.
all right. Here it goes. I'm hitting the button. We're out of here.
Bye.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend them with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Yeah, now